Welcome back to Let's Help You Grow Now because I'm here to help you grow now. Finna do a reaction to Russ reveals how artists fake streams, evil secrets of music industry, and problem with drug culture. Now I know you guys, y'all be on the internet in the comments and stuff talking about, man, why does Russ talk so much? Like, why is he doing all that? Like, where's his fans at? Where's people that listen to his music at? I just put it like this, man. Have we been seeing this nigga tour dates and stuff? Like when he be going on tour, etc. But now Russ been around for a long time, bro. He been making music for a long time. It's just now, since he gathered up all the information, etc., he just decides to voice his, his opinion and voice what he knows. You feel me? Pretty much what I do, in the sense of anything that I learn, I come back and I tell you guys what's going on. You feel me? That's why I got music business courses. That's why I got social media growth courses. You know what I'm saying? I'm working on how to get 1 million streams on Spotify course right now too as well. But yeah, anything that I learn, I come back and I tell you guys, what I'm saying, oh, make sure you go to letshelpyouggrow.now.gumroad.com. That way you can see the courses and, see about joining my program where I can help you make like $1,000, et cetera, way more than that. But that's just the starting point because half of artists that's coming up haven't even seen $1,000 yet when it me just off their music, let alone off merch, shows, and et cetera, et cetera. But especially not off their music, if anything. So that's what I'm here for to help you grow. You know what I'm saying? That area. But let's go and get to the reaction. Actually, like I fuck with Andrew. Andrew, I forgot the man last name, but yeah, I fuck with him. He cool. Let's get into it. I know this is gonna be hilarious, and I know it's gonna be like a lot because Russ like the what I'm saying? He pretty much like me, like nigga, we gonna let you know what's going on. Like, I don't care who like it or don't like it. You feel me? So I fuck with Russ, man, for real. Like, it's pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? Russ actually he's been an independent artist for a long time and he's been signed to a major label one time. So, but for the majority part of his career, he's been independent. So with him signing to a major label, that gives him more insights than what I can give you or whatever, whatever, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because you got other artists that knows this type of information, but they don't choose to tell you. They choose to keep their mouth closed because they don't want nobody taking their position or they don't want to get a pay cut, saying stuff like that. You feel me? So when you're independent, you can pretty much say what you want to. So most of those artists are signed. So they, for him to say something, it's not going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Let's go and get to the reaction now.
Do the labels make the artists do those boardroom performances?
Some of them boardrooms performances, like when they get the acting for the label and stuff like that.
Do the labels make the artists do those boardroom performances?
Here's
Oh
how they
yeah,
go.
Bobby's murder.
You're gonna lose the art because people aren't doing it for the art anymore. They're doing it for the bag. And this is not me speculating. This is me talking to like top 5 most streamed artists in the world, and then talking to CEOs and CEOs admitting, and me on the phone with like the dude who fakes the stream. He spoke on Future saying.
You talking about some top 5 streaming artists in the world? Who was it? Taylor Swift, The Weeknd, Drake. Um, y'all gotta let me know who's after them. And isn't it The Weeknd number one? I think yeah, The Weeknd is number one. Then it's Taylor Swift, and then it's probably like Drake and stuff like that. Because after The Weeknd and Taylor Swift, I don't know who's next. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, I gotta be Drake. He wasn't even doing the drugs that he talks about. I think Future's music is amazing, but I also know that the reason why I wanted to try lean when I was 19 was Future. We have seen it live in the flesh. Juice WRLD said, "I did drugs because of you." Juice WRLD died of a overdose by following somebody who does not even do drugs that they said they did. It's y'all's fault for believing it. No. Start at chapter 1. Why are you perpetuating something you're not doing? When this goes out, I'm getting flamed.
With Flagrant now, listen, if
Oh
you
yeah, I gotta
hate
make sure.
seeing stand-up clips all over the internet, we have brought the man.
I gotta make sure this. Y'all still can hear me because I'm through my other. I gotta make sure this is working. That y'all can actually hear me because I don't see this moving. This usually moves. Okay, yeah, now y'all can hear me. All right. So if you didn't hear me in the beginning of the video or whatever, welcome back to Let's Help You Grow Now. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. I'm finna do a reaction to Russ reveals how artists fake streams Who to Blame for Juice WRLD Death and Secrets of Music Industry with Andrew Scout. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't remember his last name in the beginning of the video, but I remember it now. Yeah, he's pretty cool. So shoot, I would do an interview with him too. Like his show is actually cool, bro. I fuck with him. Like, and that's like, not that much, whatever. Interviewers really be, saying good or entertaining or whatever the case may be. So let's go and get to it. Russ finna wow out.
And is responsible for that on the podcast today. Give it up for Russ, everybody. Giving you your flowers for this. So you know the story, and I talk about this quite often.
Retell it.
There's never enough flowers.
Yeah.
But no, I remember that you were putting out a song a week.
Yeah.
And at
Yeah.
that point in my life, I was like, man, I'm not working hard enough. This guy's putting a whole fucking song out a week. You got to write the music for it. You got to write the lyrics. You got to do it. And I could put a joke out a week. And I started doing that. I started getting success. And I tried to tell as many comedians as possible about it. And now they stand up all over the internet. So you deserve credit for that. So we just want to say thank you for putting us on to the hustle.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of things I want to talk to you about. I'm very excited to finally have you on the pod. A lot of music industry stuff, a lot of personal stuff in your music.
Yeah.
But before that, I need you to explain to us something.
Okay.
Why is it, because you're uniquely positioned in the music world where, like, I don't feel like you're really indebted to anybody but the fans. So you can kind of talk shit about the labels.
Exactly.
Right.
And then you could talk shit about the artists.
Right.
Right. And the artists that are indebted to the labels can't say shit.
Yeah.
And the people that work at the labels can't say shit, but you can't. Right. Why do the labels make the artists do those boardroom performances? Is that like a...
I don't think, like, the crazy thing is, I don't.
You heard what he said? Like he basically saying like Rush can say like anything he want to say basically without a penalty. You feel me? Basically, like in a sense,
I think they make them do the performances. Here's how those go, right? Here's the
explain
reality.
this shit.
The reality is, like, when you get signed to a label, or you're trying to get signed to a label, though, in a way to sort of like show you how much like artillery we have and how much we fuck with you.
They bring the whole team.
We have digital in here. We have radio. Like they bring the whole staff, right? And they sit them around this.
They bring the whole staff to lower you in.
And they play.
Bobby would like that.
My favorite. But it's like, here's the thing. It's like they play your music. So it's like I've done that meeting. But like a sane individual, I sat at the table.
You didn't get up at any point?
And like we just listened to the music. So now some people like want to stand on the table and go nuts, which is like, that's their prerogative. That's what's up. But to me, yeah, I mean, it's like those people are like, they're not there to fuck with you, really.
Yeah.
So like doing all that is not going to make the deal better.
So you can just sit in that level of awkwardness. Like if somebody played my stand-up for me, I don't know if I'd be confident enough to perform it for them.
No.
But like I'd be like, can we not sit here for this?
See, I mean, back then for me, it's like I was just, I mean, what was I, 23 when I partnered? So it's like I was in a different headspace of like so like beyond arrogant, like just so gung-ho on my shit that I was like, fuck yeah, y'all should be playing my shit. Fuck. You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, I definitely never.
Bro, I told you Russ was gonna be extra. But that's how you gotta be, bro. Like you shouldn't be doing anything and you don't feel really confident about it. Like people be trying to mess with, talk about me because it's like, damn, this nigga's so confident and you damn right, nigga. Like what you mean? Like, what you mean?
We're like stood on the table. That never crossed my mind. When I saw that, I was just like, what are you like right there? It also, it's just like, bro, like these people don't care like that.
Yeah.
Like, so you're standing on the table. It's almost like that's not gonna make them like go harder. You know what I mean? Like it's
they got a house, their kids are private school.
But it's also music.
Like he's not coming at Bobby Smurder, and I'm not coming at Bobby Smurder for dancing on the table and stuff like that. But at the same time, and Bobby Smurder, he was younger and he probably was super excited at that time. It's his first record deal or whatever the case may be. I think that was with Epic Records, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, so he probably ain't know nothing at that, because now you go on his Instagram, et cetera, and watch his recent videos. He's talking about the labels and how he's independent and stuff like that. So he clearly knows what's going on now. But yeah, like those people, me, everybody got a job, bro. Everybody got a, you feel me? So it's like you ain't special as you think. Like this is what it is. You feel me? Regardless, no matter what you think of how hard we finna go for you. You feel me? No, we going for you because you're providing a product, a high quality product at the moment. You know, not to say this is not promising that you're going to create another high quality product because they got one hit wonders. I'm not calling him a one hit wonder, but I mean, But anyway, yeah. So there's nothing wrong with it, but yeah, these people don't care about you, bro. Like straight up, like you know what I'm saying. If you come in my Let's Help You Grow Now program and you don't take notes and you don't listen to what I'm telling you to do to start monetizing your music, making money from your music, upping your streams, getting more supporters, fans, whatever you want to call it, et cetera, growing your social media. Hey, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? As long as you paying me, you feel me? I don't care. Like, you feel me? I ain't gonna stop what I'm doing. You feel me? So, you ain't my kid. You know what I'm saying?
Musical chairs in the business. It's like that person you're like doing all that performing and all that, like trying to get them on your side or whatever you're trying to do. They could be gone next week.
Yeah.
They don't give a fuck.
Yeah. There's like conspiracy that people be like, oh, this is like a humiliation ritual.
Yeah.
Like
No.
to check them.
That is a choice.
Yo, the truth is always
personal choice that these people are
the
making.
truth is always way more boring. That's what I realized.
Yeah, because people love saying Illuminati, who, wish rules, all types of stuff. You know what I'm saying? But no, these are real people like you and me deciding to do these things themselves. Like, not saying that the higher ups, quote unquote, is not requesting for you to do these things, but you have the power to say no. Let that sink in.
Like I'd rather almost believe it was a humiliation.
Okay, let's just believe it.
I believe Russ.
Yeah, good.
It's
Russ is dancing on that video coming out.
And there's a video of you doing it. We just haven't seen it.
All right, we need all the like. Obviously, I want to talk about Santiago. I want to
Yeah.
talk about the new single coming out. And I was telling you before we did the pod, like it was truly beautiful. Like go listen to the album because I think it took a lot of emotional work to get there. I want to save a time where we can have a long form discussion about that. But again, unique experience you're here, and I want to know the dirt.
Yeah.
Okay. How these labels fucking artists with the streams.
Yeah.
I don't know how they're doing it, but it feels like they're doing it.
Yeah.
And how are they tricking us? Because I see these people that go crazy, album goes #1, but then they can't fill up a show.
Right.
So the math is not math.
Right. Right. Yeah, I mean, that's what it is.
But explain it. Where
I mean, so it's one of those things that like everyone in the industry knows is going on,
which is
faking the streams. It's a real thing.
So the label buys the streams from Spotify.
So here's the deal: when you talk to these people, because I've talked to these people, because I've been like, what is this? How are y'all doing this? They never disclose the mechanics of like how they actually fake the streams. There's like, rumors of like streaming farms, or we're delving out fucking computers in third world countries and hacking the back end to make it look like it's an IP from the US.
Yeah.
Whatever, like, oh, it's nutty shit. But the reality is the labels are spending money and devil's advocate, they're treating it like a marketing expense. Because in a sense, it like almost is.
You're gonna spend $100,000 on billboards, you're gonna spend $100,000 on streams.
Right.
The streams is gonna put you in a playlist.
You're gonna spend real money to get fake streams that equate to real money. So that's why they think it makes sense, because it's like, okay, the streams are fake, but the money's real. So what do we care? Especially they're not doing it with like up and coming artists who like you wouldn't believe it. They're doing it with people like where it's okay, let's say your song has 500 million streams, right? Organically. But let's say with fake streams, now you're at 900 million. No one's gonna sit there and be like, this is more like a 500 million streams.
Yeah.
They're just gonna be like, this is a big song, makes sense, it has 900 million.
That's honestly so smart.
Yeah, they're not like.
Yeah, I was telling folks because like, when I'm talking to like supporters and just random people, that's not part of the music industry or not doing music, they're just a consumer. They don't be believing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, labels fake they artist streams, nigga, and they get paid. It's like an investment. You know what I'm saying? a quick way to run it up. You know what I'm saying? An independent artist like myself, me faking my streams would be like not possible. You know what I'm saying? Like they will notice it, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You feel me? Like it's not possible. Like, and I don't even know how to. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, like so us upcoming artists, we can't fake our stuff. You know what I'm saying? Sadly, you know what I'm saying? But if y'all do need some Spotify promotion, you know, since we're talking about that and music promotion, go to letshelpyougrownow.gumroad.com and let's place your order. You know what I'm saying? Or get a course, join my program, book a constellation call, where I can tell you how to advance in your music career, content creation career. Let's get it.
They're not doing it to the dude across the street and giving him 1 billion streams. They're doing it to people who really can get $500 million. But let's just pump it to get 900.
Now you're getting number one.
Now you get
so
number
you
one.
can pay for a number one.
Oh yeah. What?
What does the number one cost? I mean, that's crazy to think about. I mean, what does the number one song in America cost?
Look, the reality is this: you do have to have a real fan base to a certain extent, right? You have to have people who are really consuming the music, and your song has to actually be moving around organically. Once it's that, then they'll push the button on it, and it just depends. Like it's a campaign. It could be like it's like a 12-week campaign, and it might be 60 grand, 70 grand, whatever it is.
That's it.
And it's
to have the number one song.
And that 70 grand, the ROI is crazy because that 70 grand might bring you back 200, 300.
Yeah, and even just seeing the song number one, you're more likely to check it out. Now, how so?
Because people are cheap, and it's just
if you see something successful,
labels are like all CEOs at labels are obsessed with the market share. Like who has the market share? Sony has 25%.
Market share means the amount of streamed
like whose
songs at that moment.
Right. And
total streams, how many percent?
Right. And there's like bonuses that are associated with
because that's their incentive structure. If you're number one, you're gonna get the trickle down. So they're gonna try to boost.
Right.
Now, maybe you can't quantify it, but you said you can't do it with any song. You can take it from number 10 to number one, or you got to be like 3 and then.
No, I mean, look, Spotify even just put out this statement that said anything over what was it, 80% and 90%.
Yeah.
Anything over 90,
they're gonna call out. If we could be 89% fake streams,
but that's what that's saying.
Shit. But over,
it's like that was Spotify's way of saying. We know what's going on. We're okay with it.
We're profiting off it.
It just can't, of course, because somebody doing 1 billion streams on your platform is a good look for your platform.
Yes.
You're bragging about the amount of streams on your platform.
Think about where Apple Music loses to Spotify. One, they don't show the streams. Two, when it came out like last year that there was only one song that has 1 billion streams on there, like it just doesn't look as sexy as Spotify.
And I feel like as a consumer, if anybody's listening to Apple Music, Spotify must be better. I don't know shit. I'm just gonna go with the bigger.
So the fake streams help the artist and the platform.
And the label. So like everyone wins. That's why no one's gonna say anything.
Think about it. If you're invested in Spotify, if your money is in Spotify shares, you want to know that it's getting the most streams, that it's beating Apple by X
and the labels are invested. I remember when I was
That's the craziest shit.
I remember when I was with Columbia, and Columbia you know, there was a point in time where like they sold their shares of Spotify, whatever the fuck. But everyone on the label, just depending on how many streams you were doing, you got to check. I got a crazy check from Columbia selling their shares of Spotify.
So,
why did you get that crazy check?
Because I was doing a lot of streams on Spotify.
You get your share of the stream money.
Right.
So this is crazy. Billy Corgan was on Rogan talking about this. Did you see that episode?
No.
Where he was like, and I don't know how factual this is, but this is what he said. He's like, the labels took equity pieces in the streaming platforms and then gave the streamers sweetheart deals on the artist music. So basically, we're going to charge you less for the artist music, which means the artist gets less. But we are personally going to take equity positions in those companies. So give me a little bit of Spotify. I'm going to give you this artist music for a little. But when your brand builds, because it needs us to build, I get that. But you know who doesn't get that?
The artist.
The artist.
Which is crazy.
But it's like the artist uses all of that for leverage to go get sponsorships, and it's all like fame driven. It's all like the streams might be fake, but me being perceived as a massive artist
Make money on the
is real.
monetize.
So now I'm getting this, now I'm getting that, and I'm monetizing it with this brand or with the sponsorship, whatever it is. So it's like it's all just a fucking finesse and it's all a scam.
And there's some artists that are like, I'm just gonna live off of my deal, right?
Yeah.
They're like, I don't even care if I make enough money to pay back
Right.
the company or the label, whatever it is. They're gonna give me my advance. That's what I make.
Yeah.
Right. And
Well, and it's so funny when artists are like, I haven't seen a check since I got signed. It's like, because you're not
you didn't make any money.
It's like,
Yeah.
what are you so confused about?
Yeah.
It's like you didn't make the money back.
Yeah.
The artists don't know.
Oh yeah. I don't think any of the artists know that their streams are being faked.
Wow.
No, but that's and here's the thing. Here's the thing,
That's
right?
heartbreaking.
Nah.
But here's the thing. That's why, first of all, I encourage every artist, audit your label. Make sure there's an audit clause. Like I'm auditing, who I was with. And there's a lot of money being found. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the reality is like you don't know. There's a lot of things that are just hidden in those statements and the marketing expenses. And the reason why, like, if you're signed to a major label, right? It's so easy to just deny everything because there's a buffer. There's a label. The label's the middleman between the fake streams and you. So if it comes out that so-and-so is faking their streams, you could just play dumb. Be like, I had no
The
idea.
label must have did it.
Yeah, I didn't know what the label was spending their money on.
Right.
And when I have a hit song that has 1 billion streams, I'm not gonna go, are we sure it's a
Look, and
billion?
this is not me like speculating, right? This is me talking to like top 5 most streamed artists in the world and them talking to CEOs and CEOs admitting.
Oof.
And me on the phone with like managers of massive artists and on the phone with the dude who fakes the stream and them saying like, what's going on?
Wow.
Dude, you know what?
So this is not, it's not like I'm not sitting here
It's not
like,
conspiratorial.
yo,
This is how
like, I really think people are fake.
Yeah.
And like, once you know, it's really easy to tell which songs are being faked.
Who's the most fake?
Yeah.
Nah, I can't say that.
Come on. Listen, I'm not gonna. We were talking on Brilliant Idiots, and Charlamagne said it was a Drake song that came out. It was a Drake and SZA song,
Says it, yeah.
and he was like, it went number 1 week,
Yeah.
and the next week it just fell off.
Right.
And he was like, listen, those are the types of things where you go, are these songs being pumped up by the label? Because I think Doja Cat's song Paint the Town Red had been in that top 5 for weeks.
Right.
That you're not going to keep faking streams
Yes,
for real.
I'm not saying that she was doing that.
But you would fake
but I'm
streams
just
for
saying,
months.
I'm just saying, like this is the thing.
Think of the perception.
You're getting real, like it has to be a song.
But there's going to be diminishing returns if you keep having to spend $100 grand every month. No.
Well, it's not $100 grand every month because it's really just spending enough money to hack the algorithm.
So 6ix9ine was right. Is that what you're trying to say?
What was he saying? Depends on what he said. Right about what
No, he said something about they took his number 1 by buying streams for some artists.
Yeah, I mean, like the reality is they're not gonna do it, and it doesn't make sense to do it with something that's not already a moving train.
Got it.
When it's already a moving train, the public won't know the difference.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like if it's a song that genuinely has 500 million streams, if we juice it and now it has 900 million, like I said, you're not going to sit there and be like, nah, I don't believe it has 900 million because it's massive organically.
Yep.
So Donda and what was it, Certified Lover Boy, when we were all really fixated on who was going to be number 1.
Yeah.
Whoever was number 1, theoretically, they could have just paid and be
For
like,
sure. For sure.
and it almost makes me sorry.
But it's like the labels are it's a business. They're looking at it like we're protecting our investment, one.
Yeah.
And we're trying to obtain as much of the market share as possible.
Yeah.
And they also know this is just like a psychology thing. It's like fake commotion ends up creating real commotion. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like
No
if
such
I'm
thing
just
as bad
over here
publicity.
making a spectacle and it's a fake spectacle, the fake spectacle attracts real eyes. And now the real eyes are over here like, what's that spectacle?
Yeah.
And I have real people tuned in off of fake commotion.
Yeah.
And so here's a question, because we all see academics that post about who sells what in the first week or whatever. I think it was French Montana had like a really bad first week.
Right.
Is that French Montana standing on his own honor and being like, I refuse to play into this, buy any streams? Or do you think the label might be like, I'm assuming it's with a label, would be like, we're kind of done with you, and you're gonna have an embarrassingly low number because it's the real number, whereas everybody else get inflated, but your shit is gonna sit low.
I don't know what his situation. Well, I know like French is my guy, and I actually like helped him get the deal that he has.
I think French is great. That's
Yeah,
why
I think he's. But it's like, yeah, either sometimes maybe it's not just so transparent where they're like, hey, do you want to fix your streams or not? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or it's like, it's not a moving train. So we're not going to push the button on it because it's not a moving train yet.
Yeah, if the album came out with some heat, then they could put
Put it like this,
sauce
right?
on it.
Put it like this, full transparency. Now, I also know, and I've said this in interviews before, like this is the thing I'm like worried about, is like me pointing the finger and calling shit out. All that's going to happen is people are like, no, you're faking your stream. You know so much. Right. Like, how do you know? And you were on the phone. Nah, and you know what? Who even listens to Russ? You're faking your stream. But
now you got people coming out to shows. I think that's the difference maker right there.
Real bodies.
That
But
cooking
I
you
would
with
say
India
this
was
full
crazy.
transparency. This is the truth. 315 is a song I have that I put out, I don't know, 3 years ago. And right now it's doing, I don't know, 500,000 streams a day on Spotify. There was a time where it was doing 800 and 900,000, right? And the threshold to go into today's top hits is like they want to see you getting like 1.1, right? And that's like once you're in today's top hits,
See it.
right? So we got on the phone because I was like, Milan, I hit my manager. I was like, Milan, see what this guy like, because I've like low key, I'm like planning like a fucking Vice documentary. I'm like exposing this shit. I'm like, Milan, hit this guy. Like, what is the like process of this shit? But it's like, so he talks to him and he's like, look,
You got to fake his
this
voice.
is the perfect song to do it because it's crushing organically.
Nobody's gonna know the difference between
No.
200,000 streams.
315 organically was before TikTok and Billboard did the thing where there was a Billboard chart for TikTok songs. 315 was the #1 song on TikTok in the world. You know what I mean? Organically. So once again, if I was to boost that, what is anyone going to say?
Yeah.
No, I hear it everywhere on TikTok, so
Yeah.
checks out, makes sense. And we talked to the dude, or Milan talked to him, and told us, it's like an 8 to 12 week campaign. You spend 35, 40 grand, and like, that's it. And then it's out of here.
Wow.
And now, guess what? Now it goes from, once again, it goes from 800,000 organic streams a day to now maybe it is doing that 1.2 million threshold. And now Spotify puts it in today's top hits.
And now it's at 2 million.
Boom, boom, boom. You see what I'm saying? And now radio's like, wait, this is a smash.
It's a multiplier.
And so all of a sudden,
It's a
that
marketing
extra
expense.
400,000 streams that are
Yeah.
fake get a whole bunch of real ears but I just could not live with myself if I did it because the reason why, like, and I'll be honest, it's so tempting,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
I've even tweeted about it before where it's like, wait a second, if everyone's on steroids, am I an idiot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the baseball shit.
Am I an idiot?
Yeah.
Right? Like, am I being naive and almost childish where it's like, I'm sitting here still trying to like play the game the right way. And everyone else is like, dog, what are you doing? Like, we're all doing this, right? And so I start, I oscillate with like yes and no every day, but I just have faith and I know that house is going to come crumbling down and I don't want to be in it when it does. Because guess what it'll do? It won't just be, oh, Russ, you faked the streams on 315. It'll send the whole catalog into question.
Yep.
Right.
Especially because
That would fucking ruin me.
and especially because
You know
you're
what I'm saying?
independent.
Right.
If you're not independent, if you're already part of the label system,
Right.
even if you put it all into question, they wouldn't be incentivized to tear them down. But
Right.
to you,
Oh, yeah.
there are people I'm sure that are part of the industry that have heard all the shit that you said and then seen your success without them, and they're like,
They're waiting for
They
me to
can't
fake the second, if I did it,
oh,
it would be Russ is faking his streams.
and let this be a
And-
lesson
and
to
they-
all other independent
Right,
artists.
'cause guess what that narrative is? Now
Yeah.
the narrative will be, see, you can't get real success
Without us.
independent unless you fake your stream.
Yep.
Yeah.
You gotta be with the major.
Yeah.
So like, I just feel I owe it not just to myself, but to the whole like independent community to do it the real way. And look, if that means that I have a ceiling here, then so be it. But at least this is real.
Yeah.
Why are y'all doing billions of streams and the tickets don't match?
Yeah.
Because they explain that. Because I'll see certain guys that I think are these huge artists.
Right.
Or girls too, and it's like they can do the festival shows, and people kind of know their songs at the
Yeah,
festival shows,
right.
But the festival's bringing in the people.
It's a soft ticket. Yeah. Right.
Who is so? How do you explain the discrepancy?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, some of it I will say, like devil's advocate, I do think certain music is geared towards a certain environment. Certain music is club music.
Yeah.
You're not going to an arena to hear club music.
Rap sucks live. Let's just be honest.
Nah, not all that.
Sorry. It's awful. Son. Rap is the worst music live. It's so bad. It's unbelievable.
Wait,
It's amazing.
give me an example of rap.
But Travis, I literally asked him afterwards. I was like, "Yo, usually rap sucks live. Like, why didn't this suck?" And he goes, I make music for the live show.
Right.
I'm specifically putting together these songs for this experience.
That's a great point. Counterpoint. You also saw 50 Cent the night before, and that was also incredible. So
I'm sure 50.
your theory is falling apart pretty quickly.
50 was incredible.
I'm sure
But we
it's
didn't see 50 in arena, but 50 in arena would be incredible.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, there's no question.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say is I can listen to a random person sing karaoke, and if their voice is amazing, it shuts it down.
Yeah.
Like you've seen those videos where people are singing a song in Italian and like in a restaurant, like they just come in and start singing, the whole restaurant starts singing. Walk in, try to rap in a restaurant, and see your ass get arrested immediately.
If it's great, I
think walk into a restaurant and start singing "Lose Yourself." Get the fuck out of here, yo! I got a chicken sandwich on the way up with it. That shit. Depending on the restaurant.
But no, but to that point, it's like it depends on the music the environment was made for.
Yes. So if it's car cruising music where you're by yourself chilling, maybe you don't want to hear that in front of 18,000 people.
Right, and maybe it's like I don't want to hear 2 hours straight of it. You know what I'm saying? So I do think it's some of that, but also, it's the faking the streams. It's
Guys, Life Tour, Charlotte. Thank you so much for selling out the show. We added a second show in Charlotte. Also, Nashville, we are coming. Austin, we are coming. Phoenix, we added a second show. San Francisco, you sold out all 4 shows. That's incredible. We'll see what we can do about that. But thank you guys so much. More cities are also.
First of all, I encourage every artist, audit your label. Make sure there's an audit clause. Like I'm auditing, who I was with. And there's a lot of money being found. Yeah, because the reality is like you don't know. There's a lot of things that are just hidden in those statements and the marketing expenses. And the reason why, like, if you're signed to a major label, right? It's so easy to just deny everything because there's a buffer. There's a label. The label's the middleman between. First of all, I encourage every artist, audit your label. Make sure there's an audit clause. First of all, I encourage every artist, audit. First of all, I encourage every artist, audit your label.
I don't know why.
Make sure there's an audit clause. Like I'm auditing, who I was with. And there's a lot of money being found. Yeah, because the reality is like you don't know. There's a lot of things.
Oh yeah, I gotta start this over because I was wondering why when I skipped it, it was doing that. So it's weird. But yeah, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. But yeah, you already know Russ gonna get to it. The show. Y'all can just skip. Skip along this video if you're trying to, you know what I'm saying? Because I would skip my damn self. So if you're watching me now, just skip. That way you will know where I come back at which mark. This is all unedited. Like I want to do this straight through. So I'm not even gonna stop this or anything like that. Gotta wait till this loads. Again, make sure you skip. You do not have to watch me right here. Just skip.
What are you so confused about? It's like you didn't make the money back.
The artists don't know.
Oh yeah, I don't think any of the artists know that their streams are being fake.
Remember, skip.
Be like, we're kind of done with you, and you're gonna have an embarrassingly low number because it's the real number, whereas everybody else getting inflated, but your shit is gonna sit low.
I don't know what his situation. Well, I know like French is my guy, and I actually like helped him get the deal that he has.
I think French is great.
I think he's. But it's like, either, you know, sometimes maybe it's
Remember to skip.
it's real.
Yeah.
Why are y'all doing billions of streams and the tickets don't match?
Yeah.
Because they explain that. Because I'll see certain guys that I think are these huge artists.
Right.
Or girls too. And it's like they can do the festival shows and people kind of know their songs at the festival shows.
Right.
But the festival's bringing in the people.
It's a soft ticket. Yeah. Right.
You know,
Who is so how do you explain the discrepancy?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, some of it I will say, like devil's advocate, I do think certain music is geared towards a certain environment. Certain music is club music.
Yeah.
You're not going to an arena to hear club music.
Rap sucks live. Let's just be honest.
Nah, not all that.
Sorry. It's awful, son. Rap is the worst music live. It's so bad, it's unbelievable.
Wait,
It's amazing.
give me an example of rap.
But Travis,
No, that's only if it's boring and if it sucks. You know what I'm saying? But we already saw that part. Let me skip. But yeah, if you just come up to me, or if you just come out and you just start rapping, hippity hippity hop, yeah, that's boring. But yeah, Travis Scott is entertaining, so.
If you break down independent, I feel artists throw out.
what's independent?
Yeah.
Diss throw, but they're independent. Like,
No, I have.
That's actually is a quick question. What is independent?
Yeah, it's kind of gotten.
Like you even said you were signed, but then you say you're
Right.
independent.
Well, so like,
What is that?
yeah, I'll just be fully transparent, even though like I hosted when I literally partnered. But I partnered with Columbia in 2016, summertime
Say that too.
2016.
They don't
Yeah.
say I'm not signed. I'm part.
Right. No, but I partnered because they didn't own my masters. And the big piece was my back catalog that was on TuneCore. They didn't touch. So I had hundreds of songs.
TuneCore. Can you tell us casuals what TuneCore is?
So
First breakout.
So TuneCore, very quick, is just it's a digital distribution service. You pay $50 a year. You put up as much music as you want. You keep 100% of the profits, right? So I had all this music up on TuneCore, and I created all this leverage because shit was going crazy. I was already touring, and I partnered with Columbia because at that time in 2016, it was a way different landscape. It's like Apple Music didn't even come out till 2015. I remember I had like What They Want was in Rap Caviar back when Tuma Basa was running Rap Caviar, and I didn't even know what the fuck Rap Caviar was. Like that's how new everything was. So I signed because I was looking around the game and I was like, I want to be a massive artist. I want to be on radio. And I'm listening to everyone on radio. I'm like, they're all signed. So let me level the playing field. That was the intention, right? So I partnered, but I kept my back catalog. I kept 100% ownership. And everything I did with Columbia was, y'all get 50, I get 50. Simple.
And
Felt
you
fair
keep
to
the
me.
full master.
Yeah. So it's like, that feels fair to me.
Yeah, that's
you know,
fair.
y'all
That's
put
fair.
up money, like whatever, let's rock out. And then in 2020, I believe, went just back fully indie, done with the deal.
Why didn't it work out? Why were you not?
It just got to the point where I realized the juice wasn't worth the squeeze, and they couldn't do anything for me that I couldn't do for myself.
So that's my question. Like you gave them 50%, which means you need to essentially double your profits that you could do on your own for it to be break even.
Right.
Did you more than double being with them?
Yeah.
Oh, so there was value in being with them.
Well, I was, like I said, it was a moving train. I was going to make money anyway.
Got it. So also, yeah, we're not counting how much you would have made off your next album with all the hype and everything.
Right.
So you didn't think that they offered enough value to continue?
I think at a certain point, once like the game sort of began to progress, and once I started to see, the big thing for me was like them getting told no. That was big. Meaning which I know a lot of up and coming artists think like this. Oh, well, you get with a label and then you just get told yes to being on that playlist and yes to being on radio.
Oh, so they're getting told no, and you're like,
I'm like, so then you get with the label.
No by myself.
Literally, that was the exact thought. And I told them, I said, I can't told no by myself. So those
crazy.
Those boardroom meetings, right? Some of those people sitting around the table, one of them is the Spotify and Apple rep.
Mm.
And
You gotta make him get on the
it's just
table.
it's just them calling. Realistically, like y'all should be on the table, bro.
Right?
You're trying to sell me.
Get them to pitch you. I'm gonna get you on Rap Cab.
Yeah, no, but it's like, once you realize, and once I saw that, all right, it's just a human being calling Spotify or Apple, like, hey, of our 70 releases we have this Friday, you guys should really consider Russ for these playlists. And they can get told no. And I was like, well, wait a second. I can also get told no.
Right.
And keep 100%.
Yeah.
You know, so, and when you talk to these people at the playlist, who do you think they would rather talk to? The dude at the label or the artist?
Yeah.
They're all in the music business to be cool
With
with
artists.
the artist.
Yeah, they don't want to talk to the squares.
Yeah, and who's gonna sell it better?
Yeah.
Because guess what? The person at the label who's pitching your song to the playlist, right after he pitches yours,
He's
he's
pitching
pitching 7 others.
Yeah.
And it's harder to tell than it is to tell the label. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like you're on the phone fighting for your shit.
Right. Right.
They're not
So-
gonna be like, nah.
no, but they have no problem telling this dude no.
Mhm.
You know? And
Also, the ego stroke that they get when the artist themselves is calling them.
yeah, that's an
That's
element
gonna
too.
be on the playlist.
Exactly. And it's like, and to be honest, I would rather be in direct communication with like who is responsible for maybe getting my music heard by more people.
Mm.
You know, but yeah, once I realized, like, wait a second, y'all get told no, it's not a guarantee. Playlisting, radio, none of that's a guarantee with y'all. All you can guarantee is like a big bag of money up front, which is the most attractive part to a lot of people,
Right.
right? But that's your money they're giving you.
It's under that.
And it comes with a crazy interest rate, and it's like,
That's the thing. A lot of people don't realize.
they're giving you,
It ain't-
it's a loan
It's
with the
a loan,
shitty
yeah, but it's not even a loan because a loan wouldn't be taxed.
rate.
If you took a loan from a
That's
bank,
insane.
there's no tax on it.
No,
right?
it's a-
Because
it's
that's
a-
not necessarily income.
It's a crazy situation. Now, what
So
I'll
you
say,
the government's taking half immediately, but you
Yeah.
gotta pay back the full thing.
right.
I never understood
So
that
it's
Jay-Z.
handcuffs.
You remember that Jay-Z line? Y'all still taking advances, huh? I was like, what's wrong with advances? And
Right.
now that I learned, I'm like, that's the dumbest shit ever.
So let's
Right?
just quick math. Let's say they front you $5 million.
Sure.
You take that 5 million,
Yeah.
government immediately comes and takes 2.5. But
No.
you still owe 5.
No.
Well, it depends what your deal is.
So what you do is you get the 5, because you don't want to give as much money to the government, you pay commissions on the 5 first.
Of course, you can write off your
But
commitment.
most people have, you know, manager on 20, lawyer on 5,
Sure.
business manager on 5. So that's 30. So off top, what is that? That's
If we're going up to that, that's
1.5
1.5 million. So down
okay. So you're at 3.5. Now you cut the 3.5 in half.
half. You're at 1.75.
1.75.
So you got
And
5.
That's really what 5 is, and that's before you spend anything.
And you gotta spend that on production, you gotta send that on
Yeah,
beats. you
because
gotta-
that's your recording advance.
So just think about that. That's to me handcuffs. Now there is a way to kind of, because I've spoken to certain companies about deals, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, so what's the advantage? What is the advantage of this? It seems like you're just giving me all the money up front, right? And I guess what I could do is if I was like financially literate, which I'm not, I could like invest it in smart
Sure.
ways. I don't know how to do that. I genuinely don't, and I just tell it straight up. So it's like, it seems to me what this does is just kind of like shackles me to you, and I guess I get some money up front, but that money isn't my money. I have to make that money anyway.
Yeah.
So, but what I did ask is, what if we did a loan instead of
Mhm.
an advance? Because a loan is technically not taxable with income tax. You
Yeah.
only get taxed based on what you make back against that loan.
Right.
So you can, you know what I mean? There are certain
Yeah.
ways around it, but it is kind of fucked up how.
It is fucked up because
Think
it's
about 5
and a
turns to
lot-
1.75.
Well, and a lot of people also think, well, if they give me 5, you know, that incentivizes them to get their money back.
Mhm.
It's no, the whole label is cross collateralized.
Oh,
Meaning,
yeah, that's the other thing. Yeah,
meaning,
yeah,
guess what? If I give you 5, and 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 these 3 flop, and you make 50 mil back, I don't care that these 3
You're
flop.
covered.
That's
Because-
fact.
And nor am I even
Yeah.
gonna pay attention to these.
You
3.
got to think about almost like a
Because you're the
VC.
one keeping the lights on.
It's a venture capitalist that like.
It doesn't matter. We only need
Yeah.
one of these investments to work out.
It's the same.
Now, what's a distribution?
Distribution deal is more so there's no ownership of master.
Oh.
The splits are way more favorable. So like you go to Empire, maybe you get an 80-20, which is just like it's a profit split. Like they don't own the masters, right? And they usually offer label services. So that's where it's like back to the very original, like what is independent? Yeah, I mean, there's different variations because independent to some people is, well, I'm just not with a major label. It's like, all right, so you're not with a major label, but you're with that label who has major label services and you got an advance and they do label services. It's like, I guess. I guess, yeah, that like in a sense, if that is your definition of independent, I'm just not with a major, then yeah, you're independent. But for me, for a while, before Columbia, I was independent in the sense that I didn't depend on anyone to do anything for me. And even post Columbia, that's what it was up until the Santiago album, where I've been putting music out. Similar with TuneCore is video, right? Video is another like digital distribution, right? I pay $50 a year because I have a great relationship with CEO. Pay $50 a year, put out as much music as I want. It's the same shit as TuneCore.
And will they collect the money on your behalf so they recognize every time it's been played on radio, stream?
Yeah, it's the same thing as TuneCore. Everything is like monitored and registered and collected.
So there's an RSS feed or something that goes.
Yeah, there's a back end. There's a portal, and you log in and you can see what everything's doing and how much money you withdraw and send it to your bank account. Right.
So every Friday it was played on this time 100 times. They owe you $10,000 from that. That all comes back.
And I get paid every Friday. It's been like that since 2011.
Gotcha. So instead of that going to the label and then the label distributes it to you, TuneCore can just do it, so it cuts that out of the way.
And artists on major labels, it's a semi-annual check if you're recouped. So if you're recouped, you're getting paid twice a year.
Yeah,
twice.
So
that's if you're recouped. You get paid in March, April, and you get paid in fucking September, October. It's fucking hilarious, which I make this joke with like my team all the time, just because of like when I left the deal and kind of how it works out. My birthday's September 26th. And so every year, ever since I left Columbia, they like send me a check for $1 million like on my birthday because it's like that's when the semi-annual falls. So I always know that like on my birthday, they have to give me
that's fun. That's a nice little birthday present.
It is. They hate that present. I know. I'm always like, I know they're fucking throwing up.
So the cross collateralized thing is really interesting also.
Yeah.
Because I imagine that's part of the idea around the 360 deal. Which is, it's really just more protection from them.
Of course.
So it's like, I think
we don't need your music to sell. We'll get it on the merch.
So we gave you that 5 million. We need 5 million back.
Yeah.
You only have 1.75 after paying commissions and taxes and whatever. So even if you paid us that back, we still need the other 3.25.
Right.
So if your album does nothing, but we throw you in these, what's it called, shows, we send you around the world, we're getting that 3.75 back off of these other things. I think our perception on 360 was they just want a little piece of everything. It's like, no, they don't even know if you're gonna make money.
Right.
But if you do,
that's like the interesting thing, right? Is like this whole notion, and this might come off crazy, but it's the reality. It's like, oh, it's a bad deal. For who?
Yeah.
For who? For the artist. The label signing good deals.
Oh, they're signing good deals.
But you know what I'm saying? And that's and that's what people are not. Artists need to go into these meetings understanding it's business.
Yes.
They are not about to sign a bad deal.
Yeah.
Yes. You know what I'm saying? Which is why you need leverage to make them sign a deal that they normally wouldn't want to sign, but they don't want to lose out on your potential.
It is funny how they get salty when they're on the wrong end of the deal, though.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
I feel like we should understand it's business and they should understand it's business.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Can you talk about the dollars and cents when it comes to streams when you're independent and with a label? So if you get 1 million streams independent or 1 million streams with a label, how much money does the artist get?
1 million streams independent is like on Spotify, $4,000, give or take.
If you're independent?
Yeah. If you own 100% of the song.
Got it. And then if you're with a label, how much do you get?
You may not see anything.
Let's say you're already recouped. How much is 1 million streams?
It depends on what your split is with the label. It's the same $4,000. It's the same
50-50.
It's like.
But I thought Spotify has deals with record labels where it's like they get bigger,
better rates. Yeah, sometimes it's like tier 1 rates or tier 2 rates. Yeah, but some of these, that's why you got to be careful which distro you go to, because some of these distros don't have the tier 1 rates that the labels have. They might have tier 2 rates, so they're actually getting less money per stream than a major label.
Okay.
Oh yeah, like TuneCore, Video, you're getting what the labels get. Yeah.
You're getting
what the
You're getting the same rate. Yeah. You're getting the same. But the reality is like Drake is getting more money per stream than the up and coming artist.
Yeah.
Because he's bringing more to Spotify.
Yeah, he's more valuable to the stream.
Same label.
Oh, yeah, he's gonna get more.
Got a better deal.
He's gonna get more. Yeah, he's gonna get more. I'm not even mad at that though. Like once again, people never consider the other side. It's like, bro, this is a storefront, right?
Yeah.
That is allowing you Stop with the entitlement, is allowing you to sell your music in their store.
Yeah.
You don't have any leverage to say,
Yeah.
this is some bullshit.
Yep.
You got this dude who's bringing you way more money, getting paid more than me.
Mhm.
It's like, yeah. Like, what are you talking about?
Platform, they put the
Like-
money up for
Am I gonna
R&D.
put Nike in the storefront or your fucking brand that nobody's ever bought?
Drake's deal.
Oh, I don't know Drake's deal. I'm sure it's
Do you have any
incredible.
ideas?
Not re-signed to a major. Isn't he doing like something?
No, I think he did resign. I think they gave him a crazy bag.
Yeah,
The
500
Apple
million.
one?
No. Like he
500 million.
re-signed, I think, with Republic, and I think he got a disgusting bag, as he should.
How disgusting.
I think I know what y'all know is what was online.
300?
Fucking 3, 4. Who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, they're gonna get it back.
That's the
It's a
thing.
guarantee they get.
And
that
it might
back.
be cross-collateralized with his past.
Oh, it is cross. It has to be. That's how
So
they get
you
the
will
money.
get it back off of the old stuff anyway.
Well, think about it. It's like if you're with the label for 5 years, right? 5 years, 5 albums, and you've generated 200 million with that label. You go into another label, they can't give you 200 up front because you're starting from scratch.
Mm-hmm.
The label you've already made all this money with, that's your best chance to get the biggest bag because they can just cross collateralize it. Once again,
They
same thing.
protect themselves with your past work.
Each album
Yeah.
is the investment. So guess what? If we own Drake or Nicki or Ariana Grande or Taylor Swift's catalog, even if her next album or next 5 albums
matter.
flop, we're making 500 mil off these last 7.
Right.
Doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
And Drake knows that too. So the number's going up
Yeah.
with what he asked for.
Crazy.
He's like, these albums don't even need a hit.
No, because
These are going to get played for the
that's
next
what I'm
20
saying.
years.
It's more because it's macro. It's
Exactly, yeah.
in totality.
It's the whole library.
I'm a lucrative product.
But doesn't he have enough money, incentive, and popularity to go independent after his deal?
Sure, but he just I don't know. He just may not want to. You know,
So-
because there's something to be said that's not right or wrong. You know, not every path is for everyone. Some people
Yeah.
they don't, being independent takes a lot of work, a lot of like entrepreneurial spirit. Not
Yeah.
saying that he or anyone else doesn't have it, but it's just some people, they want to show up
Yeah, some
and rap
people need a
and like,
system.
send me my big ass bag, make sure all my shit's on radio. I'll talk to you when I talk to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which there's nothing wrong with that. I get that. Me, I'm just really, really obnoxiously hands-on. I like being hands-on. I like every aspect of my career. I like the business side. I like
Yeah.
I really do. I genuinely have a passion for every side of it.
There's certain comics that I'll talk to, right? And I'll explain, like, if I'm just trying to give them some game, I'll just explain what they need.
Yeah, the business side is not for everybody. So all you artists that's watching, all you guys should not be independent, handling everything on your own because you really gotta like it. You know, like a job, like well, a job that you like, you gotta really focus on it. It's like, and it takes a lot of work. So it's best to find that out now if you do or don't. That way you'll know how to move forward. You know what I'm saying? So don't get it messed up. Don't get it twisted or anything like that. That's what I'll say. Like bitch.
To do
Yeah.
in order to achieve what they want.
Right.
And I'll really kind of spell it out.
Yeah.
And then I'll develop different models for them. I'll be like, listen, if you don't want to learn how to edit, if you want to learn how to subtitle, if you
Right.
want to bring a camera,
Right.
like I bring a camera bag to every show by myself, put it up in the back of the fucking room,
Right.
move some tables out of the way. It gets knocked over halfway through the set. I got to ask some security guard to stand by it, like
Yeah.
figure out how to do audio. It's a lot.
Mhm.
And sometimes I can tell they don't want to do all that.
Sure.
So I'm like, you know what? You might need to partner with somebody
Right.
who's going to do all that.
Right.
Or you need to bring somebody up. In that case, that's what I did with Al. Put somebody, I was like, listen, I want you to handle this aspect
Yeah.
of the biz. And there's certain people that they just don't know how to do it. They're not industrious. That's not one of their
That's
passions,
not
like
the
you
thing.
said.
Yeah.
And it might be better for them to lose that 10% or that
Right.
20%.
Right.
Put your energy towards something else.
Yeah.
Straight up. And I think to that point, a lot of people just like be honest with yourself.
Yeah.
You know, who are you? What are you willing to do? And the thing that trips me out is like, if you determine that you're not willing to be this industrious entrepreneurial type of spirit, if that's like, you realize that's not real to you, it's like, okay, you bring in someone or a company and they give you millions of dollars
Yep.
and take this massive gamble on you. Of course, you
They're
don't
gonna-
have
Yeah.
the leverage in the situation. They're taking all the risk.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you determine that, oh, I just want to make songs and I want y'all to risk millions of dollars on me, why would you have the good deal in that situation.
That's fair. That's
They're
fair.
taking all the risks.
Life is leverage.
And I think the reality, and maybe in the future this is what's going to happen, but artists have a louder voice than labels. I'm not advocating for labels. I've never been anti-label. I've been anti-bad deals. I've been anti-exploitation. I've been anti not owning your shit. I've never been, anti-major label. It's just anti-bad deals. But the artists have a louder voice than the labels. So maybe in the future, labels like will be famous. Like the dude at the label is famous and he has a voice and he's saying like, look, we spent millions of dollars. We risked millions of dollars on you. You had 10,000 monthly listeners and we still put up 2 million on your potential. Why would you get the bigger end of the straw? Makes no sense.
I think it's logical.
I think it makes sense. Think of just like remove the labels and all this shit. Like if you got a friend who needs like, they're a musician or whatever, and they're like, oh, I really want to do this music thing.
Take away music. Do it with a restaurant.
Okay, fine.
Sorry, the restaurant. Excuse me.
Yeah, go.
And it's like they don't want to do anything but like run the restaurant, whatever the fuck
They
it
want
is.
to cook food.
They want to cook food.
That's why they want to do it.
But they need the money.
They need 2 million to open up a restaurant.
So you give them 2 mil, and then they're confused when the money comes in that you're getting more.
It's like, I'm cooking the food. Why are you doing it? It's like, motherfucker.
Like this doesn't happen.
Yeah.
When not even this doesn't happen. It's like I took all the
That's
risk.
the thing. You don't get paid for work, you get paid for risk.
Yes.
Right. Exactly. And it's like I think a lot of times artists forget that. They
Now, that's
forget.
not to say that they could take advantage.
No,
of
like I
those
said,
situations.
anti-exploitation, but at the same time, like be real with yourself.
Yeah.
If you are somebody who's like, I'm not willing to do anything but go to the studio,
Then
and
no,
you have to
it's-
take all the risk, that's fine. But then also know what kind of situation you're going to end up being in.
Yeah.
It's going to be them. They're going to come out on top because they're taking all the risk.
Curious to hear what's your opinion on residencies. 'Cause I feel like the look of them has changed. Like they used to be like,
Your career's done.
You're on the back nine of your
And
career.
now it's like
Yeah.
people want residencies. Like
Yeah.
What Usher did was
Usher,
fantastic.
Britney Spears.
Britney, I think, is a little loony bin, but like,
Why do you think that?
she just got
What made you say that?
she got kicked out of the Four Seasons forever because she went naked into the pool or something like that.
Oh, that's
They
fine.
just put,
That's
yeah.
fine.
Brittany really going through it. Go.
Checks out.
Have you smashed?
What?
I don't know. You're famous, bro. You're a famous musician, bro. He said, I never met her. That's why.
It's so funny. There's a clip of her running naked on the beach to what they want.
No.
Yes.
That's why I asked that question.
Yeah, I figured.
It was in the ether, man.
Yeah, right. No, I mean residencies for me, like I'm not going to Vegas like that.
Saudi, though. You could have a residency for the next one.
And that's nothing against Vegas. I love the Vegas fans. I'm just like the city to me is like I can't.
He's gonna eat
I
away.
just don't like the environment like that. It's like
There's someplace else back.
yeah, I think if
Look,
look,
Caucus, New Jersey.
Cheese up, Secaucus.
I think if it makes sense for you, yeah. I mean, you go somewhere 6 times a year and you already love the place anyway,
Yeah.
and they're giving you a meal or whatever. It's like, yeah, why not?
Do you think younger artists should start doing residencies or have the?
Yeah, because I mean, it's soft ticket. You know what I mean? And a lot of times, like
Can you explain what that means for people?
soft
who
ticket
are
is people
outside
who
of-
are going to be there anyway. So, like, if I perform at a club on a Friday night, it's a soft ticket show because guess
Yeah.
what? If I'm not there, they're still
By
there.
club, you mean like if you go to Live or 11 in Miami, like if
There was already going to be people there.
Exactly. Whereas with Vegas casinos, there's already people that
There's
are
already
there
people there.
and they're gonna look for something to do besides gamble.
Yeah. You're just the entertainment for the night.
Exactly.
So it's soft ticket as opposed to like, yo, I'm
Soft
at,
ticket.
I'm at Barclays, pull up. Like that's like, if y'all don't show up, no one's
Nobody
there.
was at Barclays that night.
Yeah.
And then, oh, Russ is here? You
Now
want
there's
to
people, right, you're the ticket. So, yeah, I mean, it's a soft ticket play. So the pressure's off of you because there's going to be people there anyway. You don't need to do crazy promotion about it because there's going to be people there anyway. Yeah, I mean, smart.
You can save on like production costs if you're
That's-
talking
yeah,
about
like-
destination,
Yeah, I mean,
or risk 10 arena cities, or
Yeah.
let me do a big up show at a place where we all know Vegas, everyone's coming in from everywhere anyway.
Especially if it's not a market that you're strong in with hard tickets. So you're not taking away.
from what you
Like I would never do it in LA because LA is my strongest market hard ticket wise. But in a market where I'm maybe not so strong hard ticket wise, and they want to give me a residency, what do I care? I wasn't going to sell tickets there anyway like that.
Also, like lifestyle, like Usher is how old? 40?
And it's
40
40 for
something.
sure.
Say his 40s is like, do you want to be on a plane every single night for this tour? Or do you want to park yourself for a month in Vegas, bring your family there, chill?
Yeah.
And a lot of them live in LA and fly.
Or, yeah, you pull out
After
taking a
we-
flight that's 30 minutes.
Yeah, it's definitely, yeah. It just has to align with like your lifestyle for sure. For me, it doesn't really.
Do you feel like the labels are mad at you for exposing and talking about the bad deals?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't bode well for them. So I'm sure they're not like thrilled.
Have you felt any heat or pressure from them in any way?
Yeah, yeah. They've called radio stations and like, threatened radio to be like, you play his shit, I'm not giving you the new.
Really?
Oh yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Really? Why don't you expose them?
You just
Because
did.
then what?
Like actually call them out, like
Well, I mean, because like,
labels,
because-
blackball me.
because I think what I learned is it just doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. So I say that and then what? Realistically. Because I'm on an island, right? So I say it, I dig my heels in the sand and I say, these people over there, they're trying to fuck me. It's like, well, bro, what'd you expect? There's this whole circle right here of people on the inside that are trying to protect this. And you're over here. You're surprised they're doing everything they can to shut this down. What, like,
People don't like bullies, and it's like if we hear a
Yeah.
story of
Good
like
PR.
a big bully is trying to blackball this independent young artist, like yeah, I think that would galvanize more people to support.
maybe. But I think it would do more harm than good.
Then you have other people who might be like, oh, he's complaining and he's
Right.
making this up.
It would
because
more
it's-
so be that narrative of you're just bitter, you're just mad. And it would also like the labels are in cahoots with everything and everyone. So
You attack one, you attack.
that's like, yeah, it's like, oh, you want to come out and say this? Well, kiss your complex interview goodbye. Then you know what I mean? So it's like it does more harm than good. And I've already said what I needed to say.
And is radio even still a massive driver of
Radio still is
Relevant.
valuable. It's still, yeah, there's still a game there to be played, especially at pop radio. You make a shit ton of money on the publishing side.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like if you get a #1 at pop radio, the publishing check is bananas.
Yeah.
Broker. There are still people.
Well, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and you
For
get
sure.
and like look, the reality is, I did those 3 stadiums with Ed Sheeran and I saw firsthand like the difference between an arena and a stadium. When you look at stadium acts, radio.
Wait.
Superstars. You know why? I'll tell you why. Guess who's going to a stadium show? Parents and their kids.
Yeah, it's
Guess who
definitely
listens to the radio?
parents.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the
That's
thing.
what takes you from like I did Hollywood Bowl, 17,000 people, right? It's like Rose Bowl, 70,000.
Yeah.
That's a big jump.
It's a massive jump.
What was your first stadium? Was it MetLife?
Levi Stadium,
Where's that?
Santa Clara. It's like where the
Okay.
49ers play.
So you go.
This dude broke this fucking Super Bowl record.
That's unbelievable.
He's not even from here. You know what I mean?
Wait, okay, so break it down. So you and Ed are there.
Yeah.
You're opening for Ed,
I'm
or you
opening
come
for
out during his set. Okay, so you come out. Open.
I do a 45-minute set, and then like 10 songs into his set or whatever, he brings me out and we do a song together.
How many people are there when you go on?
You know what? It was damn near packed because someone went on before me.
Okay,
I go
so-
on. I'm direct support, so I went on right before Ed. So maybe not at the first song, but halfway through my shit, it's pitch black outside, and it's fucking. When I say put the lights up,
It's
it's the whole shit.
So, but break down like maybe early in your career. Like sometimes the opening acts,
Yeah,
people are still walking in their seats. This
yeah,
is
it's tough. It's tough.
yeah, even in comedy you see this. Like, and it's something where we try to really avoid it. We
Especially
like.
when you know they're not there for you. That's the tough part.
But what I feel like is with at least LA, if it's your biggest market, Santa Clara is like how far from LA?
Couple hours.
Okay,
It's like
so-
San Francisco.
San Francisco. That's where the Niners play.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm thinking Santa Ana.
No. So I guess it's way more than
Very
a couple
close
hours.
to
Yeah.
San Jose.
But California in
Oh,
general
yeah.
is like a massive.
Okay, so you went up there. There, your fans out there too.
Yeah, for sure. For
And
sure.
did it feel like a Russ concert for those 45 minutes?
No, But what I'm saying,
What's the difference?
what I'm saying is that,
Where's the ginger?
yeah, like, I'm like, how can I do it myself? And they're like,
You gotta sing all this shit.
Yeah.
We're gonna do it yourself.
Singing like, damn, we're not here. No, but what I'll say is with the stadium, there's so many fucking people that you can't even see. You really can only see the first couple rows.
And that's
And the
it.
first couple rows for me, even at my own shows, it dictates the whole energy. And so the first couple rows at the shows, it was filled with fans of mine who were so like diehard. So I was right at home. It was fine. It was completely, yeah.
You want one?
When in Rome.
Okay, so any adjustment with the stadium though? Size, does that?
No, you know what? And I've said this before about arenas. Arenas and stadiums are easier to do than like performing for 80,000 people, way easier than performing for this amount of people.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because the
This amount of
tension.
people, like,
Yeah, the tension is not. Yeah.
y'all are all just right here.
Yeah.
There's no hiding and there's no like,
Silence
it's
is
so
louder.
intimate. 80,000 people, you're sort of, I don't know, it's like surreal. You're just kind of like, you're there and they're there, but y'all are not that connected. I don't know how to explain it. It's,
Yeah, it's not immediate.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. I don't know what that is, but.
And probably once you get it moving too, it's like a train.
Yeah.
Like you, like that momentum is so.
Well,
much.
and the energy is so palpable. And like I said, it's different than feeling like I need to personally connect with each 7 people in the room right now. Because there's only 7. There's 80,000 people. I just need to like crush this and be in my world and like feed off the energy and whatever. But yeah, I don't know. It was an experience.
What's the smallest show you ever did?
Oh man, probably like 40 people. Oh no, what am I talking about? 4 people, Atlanta, 20, I'll tell you the exact date. December 6th, 2014.
Okay,
Wow.
4 people.
Yeah.
What's the venue?
Masquerade in Atlanta.
Okay, you show up, you do the whole show?
No, so Diamond, the label that me and my boy started, we were like gung-ho about the show, the showcase that we like had set up, like, yo, it's December 6th. And everyone pull up. We got like my dad got us a fucking limo or something. And we like thought we were the shit. We're like in the limo with like champagne bottles and we're taking pictures of the marquee. We show up and literally 4 people. And we crushed.
Oh, you did the whole show?
Oh yeah, like I mean that was the thing back then, bro. It was like all you had to go off of was your delusional confidence in yourself. So that like for me, it didn't matter who was in the crowd. I envy that person, sometimes characteristics of that person, because I was just happy to be on stage. I didn't like who was in the audience was irrelevant. I was just happy to be in a light that I always saw myself in.
Oh, wow. So there's no embarrassment like these
Oh my God, none at all. None at all.
Wow.
None at all. I felt zero embarrassment for that night. More embarrassment for in a 7,000 cap venue if only 6,000 show up.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you keep in touch with those 4 people at all? I assume you guys connected after the show.
Yeah, some of them are like, we call them, one of his name is Nick Everett.
Mhm.
And like we call me and Boogus, who I started Diamond with, like we refer to a lot of like people as like, oh yeah, he's in Nick Everett. It's this dude from Tennessee. Yeah, he was the first one to get like the logo tattooed on him. He was at every show. Yeah, but it's like to me, I don't know, man. Like that's what makes all this so much sweeter. Is because I wasn't one of those artists who, and I feel for these kind of artists who you blow up and you haven't even done a show yet. Where are you supposed to go from here? Like you got songs with hundreds of millions of streams and you haven't done a show yet. That's fucking terrifying. I would have been fucked if that happened.
How long did it take you to get your show good?
Oh man, it took me a minute, and I'm glad I got to do it in sort of that, circuit of when no one was really paying attention. Like by the time I was really doing shows, I was okay. You know what I mean? But like I feel for people like Lil Nas X or Olivia Rodrigo.
Got ripped. Like it was her first time on stage.
She's in an arena.
Just,
was that her first time?
It
on
was an
stage?
outdoor show. She did something, and they were kind of clowning her. It's like she's literally never performed in front of people.
I remember when Olivia Rodrigo, she blew up and the shit went crazy, and she posted her first tour. And it was like 2,500 caps. And like, obviously she could have done arenas. And everyone was like, what the fuck? Like, cause her fans are like, there's so many of us. Why would you book such small rooms?
Because she got to learn how to
It's like,
handle.
yo, she's never done this.
Even
Like,
2,500 is a lot of numbers for the first time.
bro,
It's
when
crazy.
I tell you, like, I remember 2014, Dame from Funk Volume, which was like the label that Hobson and was on, right? I remember he had reached out 2014 and he was like, we were talking about maybe doing a deal. He brings me out to Colorado to like do a set before Hobson and Funk Volume and shit. And I brought Boogus. And I remember being in the parking lot. The venue was Cervantes Ballroom. It was 1,100 people. And I was freaking the fuck out in the parking lot, like 1,100. Whoa. And I remember getting up on stage. Like, I remember asking Boogus, like, yo, can you just come up on stage with me? Because this is like, I don't even think I can do this.
Yeah.
And I remember going up on stage and 1,100 people, it might as well have been 1 million. It felt so out of control. It felt like, what's crazy is if I had never done anything past that point, that person would just think I'm naked. It's like, what do you mean? Perform for 1,100 people. Like, it felt so crazy. And it just, moments like that help me maintain perspective on how big things have gotten and how real shit is. And it gives me the ability to have empathy for artists, like you said, like Ice Spice or Olivia Rodrigo. And these people, 2,500 people is insane. 1,100 is 500 is insane. You don't understand. Like, if you haven't done this shit yet, and you go up, you just get thrusted up on stage. You got 300, 400 people. Like, you got to entertain us. It's a lot if you've never done that. There's a lot of pressure on that, especially if it's like, yo, we're here for you. We're the ones supporting your music. Don't let us down. It's a lot.
What was the last show you did where you felt that pressure of like that opening show with 1,100 people?
Hollywood Bowl and Staples Center, I was a little freaked out right before I walked out. It's weird because I don't get nervous before shows anymore because I know they're all there for me. And like, it's like clockwork. Like, I do this in my sleep, right? Staples Center was like, oh, fuck.
You got to bring it.
And I wasn't nervous until like literally as I'm walking out and I was like, whoa. Like, this is Staples Center. Because I'm looking up and it's sold out up to the fucking boxes up top. I'm like, dog, like, this is the Lakers game. You know, when you like, when you do an arena, like they customize the whole back area. So like on the ground, instead of like, a basketball, whatever the fuck logo they have, it's like circles with my name. And like the fucking owner of Live Nation has given me iPads with like, congrats, you sold out Staples and a theme shit. I'm like, holy fuck. Like, well, my parents are here. Like, people are watching.
How was the show?
It was crazy.
Did you lock in during it? Or were there moments where you were actually reflecting on the fact that you were?
I think a lot of times, and I wonder if artists do, I disassociate on stage sometimes.
Black
where
out.
like, it's almost like, y'all are watching me have a imposter syndrome in the middle of my set. Because I'm sad, like a lot of times during songs, I'm like, I can't believe these people are happening. What are these people doing here?
And then you gotta like remind yourself, no, stay in
Like,
it.
oh God.
Sometimes.
But I mean, Staples Center was one of those ones where I was like, whoa. Especially because that time I wasn't doing in-ears.
In-ears means you have the song playing from the monitors.
How do you not do in-ears?
So like I fucking hated in-ears because I wanted to be a monk.
I wanted to feel in-ears for the people. So
in-ears is this, like if you do in-ears, like traditionally, all you're gonna hear, you're wearing headphones, right?
You see the artists, they have that like FBI shit in their ear while they're
all you're gonna hear is the backing track. You hear no crowd. It's like you're in the studio.
So you're a little detached from the crowd.
You're performing and you just hear your vocals that you're singing over the backing track, over the instrumental. And you're looking at the crowd and they're just like, what the fuck? So I just never fucked with that, right? So no in-ears. And so that's like crazy to people in the music business because like, how did you even hear yourself? Like,
and how did you? Did you have the monitors high on the stage?
I always would have the monitors super high on the stage.
So monitors,
and I would just wing it.
They're the speakers on the stage that actually face the artist. And that's kind of how you can see how you sound. But I agree with you, like feeling the audience is important and like that can be distorted if you're only hearing a back track.
Even now I use in-ears, but I do one in, one out.
One in, I would say seems like a compromise.
You got to hear that. That's what you mean.
It's tough. Like I tried to do, where your monitor guy sort of tries to like ride the crowd volume.
Oh, I don't like that.
I hate, you know what I mean? Like all of a sudden you're performing, then
Tell them.
it's like
Every
crazy.
time when we're doing a walkthrough, I have to tell them, I go, I might get quieter. Don't
Leave
adjust.
it.
If
Leave
they
it.
touch doing that on purpose.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
1 dB. You'll know.
No, of course. You're
Because it throws
particular.
you off.
It does. It does. All of a sudden it's loud. And you're like, oh.
Yeah. And you might be
Yeah.
using your volume as a tool.
Right. Right.
Also, guys, I know you're enjoying this episode with Russ, but I got to give you your prize picks for this week. Your Sing Locks for Super Bowl Sunday. That was very alliterative. Here we go. We ready? First of all, prize picks, shouts, giving you a free square, Patrick Mahomes, more than a half a yard. That's done. Isaiah Pacheco, I think it's more than 64.5 yards rushing. And I think Travis Kelce gets more than a half a touchdown because Taylor Swift is going to be there and she don't lose. And last, I might just be a hater.
You know they're gonna win because Taylor Swift's showing up. I was just saying this too. I promise y'all. Y'all think it's a game. That is. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe.
The pyramids.
Insane.
Yeah, can you explain like how that goes? Did
Yeah.
you tell them you were Egyptian to get that? Because you're a little
Absolutely.
bit.
Yeah, no, I got a passport.
No, because that's a different. We looked into that
Yeah.
or something, and like it's not an easy thing.
It's very difficult because the government is like, you have to get approved by the government to do something like that. It's a historical site.
Because these
You can't
Danish
just be on some, like,
motherfuckers
bullshit.
did a porno on top of the pyramid. Did you hear about that? There
No.
was some people like fucked on top of one of the pyramids, and after that, they really
Your
started.
Google searches.
Yeah. That's
It's like, you want to know if you would be the first?
The people
So many bricks. The face of due north.
Yeah.
But
okay, so you got to get government approval.
government approval, certain songs you can't perform, like you have to submit your set list. And
Which
what songs? It was either there somewhere in the Middle East, but like I couldn't do Young God because like anything religious.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like anything super vulgar you can't do, which is, once again, it's like people in the business know. There's a lot of artists who have tried to do it. And like when I've talked to booking agents and whatever, it's like this artist submitted their 30-song set list and 2 songs got approved.
Can't do it.
Can't do it.
Wow. What song did you know the audience wanted to hear, but you couldn't play for that show?
None. No.
Oh, no.
Everything that I knew they wanted, I could do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
How big of a deal is cussing? Like you say vulgar, but
At the pyramids, it's fine. Pyramids is fine, but I did the first ever rap show in Kuwait, and I was not allowed to cuss.
Mhm.
Fans had to remain seated the whole time. I couldn't dance. Not that I dance, but I do a little two-step. There was none of that,
Wait, what did it look like?
So it was like
a podium?
So imagine
Video. Give us the video.
Yeah, I posted every show I've ever done, but it was cool. Imagine sort of like the ballroom of a hotel.
Okay.
It's kind of that. There was a stage and there were seats, and everyone had to remain seated. And me just being like obnoxious at that time, I was like, fuck. Like I'm like trying to rile them up. I don't give a fuck. Even though I did well with not cursing, but certain shit gets out of hand.
Yeah.
Type in maybe Russ Kuwait. No. Oh yeah, this is it. Yeah. See, I'm still dancing. I'm still hitting my feet still.
I'm gonna arrest you.
Yeah.
I want to arrest you.
So the craziest thing.
So this is the
Look,
boardroom.
here we go. Right. Look, everyone's sitting.
Sorry.
Everyone's sitting down. And they had like officials from the government running through the middle, telling people to sit down. See, someone stood up.
Wow.
Crazy.
Oh
my God. Now the craziest thing that happened during this show is in the middle of my set. I turn around at this point, like my manager was DJing. He used to just plug in an aux to the laptop and just rocked out.
Yeah.
That's like how we did like massive shows. Yeah. And I turn around to him and I have to stop the show because there's like there's a royal family member who's like, my daughters want pictures.
wow,
Middle of the set.
crazy.
Like, and he's telling me, he's like, yo, this guy, like, he wants his daughters to come up on stage and take pictures. Like, you gotta take. I'm like, I'm like kind of busy.
Yeah.
And so I just didn't do it. I was like, yeah, which it ended up being fine. Like after the show, I don't know if it's in this clip, but after the show, I talked to all of them backstage, and it was No, I guess it's not. It's on my.
Wait, you talked to the daughters backstage?
No. I talked to the diplomats and the officials.
Yeah, you pleading for your life at that point, or what is that like?
No, it was fine. It was fine. I just feel like so back then, I'm just coasting on like it can't happen to me.
Yeah.
Like, that's all gonna be fine.
I told them this shit. Yeah. When we were in Abu Dhabi, and we were doing the what is it called? Like the little run through before the show, where you're just doing sound check and shit. And I was kind of like wowing a little bit during the sound check.
Right.
And the promoters were getting a little nervous.
Sure. I can imagine with yours. Did you have to cut anything out?
I ain't cut anything.
We presented the list of what he couldn't say, and
I was
he
like,
violated.
I got the +1 pass for like at any given moment, all the +1s get out. No, but yeah, it's like I think hip hop went from counterculture and underground to it's the most popular shit in the world. So naturally, it went from people doing hip hop to express and rebel to make money. And Jay-Z talks about it in his Breakfast Club where, there was a shift that happened where hip hop became a get rich quick scheme. And rap became a get rich quick scheme. And when that happened, of course, you're going to lose the art because people aren't doing it for the art anymore. They're doing it for the bag. So it's like once you realize that, once again, it's just letting go of the resistance. It's like, look, if I can just accept the fact that this shit got so big, which was the goal, that it's now become a plausible financial scheme. Okay, well, now I have to accept that there's going to be some people who are not doing it for the art, they're doing it for the bag. And what a great place that, we've gotten hip hop and rap to a place where it's so lucrative that people don't even have to be about it for the art.
They're there for the money.
They're there for the money, and there's still a bag in it. And I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but that it just comes with the dinner. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
and that's not just hip hop. That's anything that gets popular. You're oftentimes shackled to the bag, and then once you find something that's lucrative and it provides a living for yourself, a lot of people don't want to move away from that. There's comfort from that.
Of course. It's also on the people, bro. This whole fucking notion, it's so irritating. It's like, can we stop acting like there's this big fucking ploy to like only push a certain kind of music?
The truth is more boring.
The truth is
always more boring.
Here's what the truth is. The truth is, in general, society is attracted to negativity more than positivity.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
So guess what? Negative music glorifying negative behaviors and lifestyles will always feel a little sexier because it's a little more dangerous than peace, love, and prosperity. You know what I'm saying?
You're drawn to danger.
That's just what it is. That's just what it is. And I mean,
if you're in the forest and you hear some branches break or some leaves rustle, you look around.
Now, the real shit that no one wants to talk about, that if I talk about it, I'll probably get canceled. That'll be just the end of us. But whatever. It's really what I think people should be like looking into is white people's fascination with Black trauma.
Ooh.
That is, to me,
talk to us.
It's very bizarre because
Black people are also fascinated with Black trauma.
That makes more sense because it lands and it resonates. White people are fascinated with Black trauma because it's exciting to them because it's over there.
Okay.
But they can get close enough to experience it. But guess what? When it gets a little too real, they go home.
So let me.
So they can participate from a distance.
From a safe distance. Let me ask you this though.
Mob movies
come on, we can't.
No, you're actually in a good place to.
I think the mob movie rap correlation is such a reach.
I wouldn't make it mob movie.
I'll tell you why. Because mob movies, yes, they're based off of something real, but it's also very clear that majority of it is fiction. There's not that many of them, right? Rap, the whole attractiveness of rap is that it's real. It's not that it's fiction. They're not playing characters. That's the appeal, right? Especially, like, I can speak on this at least, is because I was a white boy in the suburbs.
Yeah.
So I saw firsthand what people like me were attracted to. It was that it felt real. It was dangerous.
It was dangerous.
It was over there. And whoa, like he's really like you see his face tats and like, yo, he just said he like slid on this op and
Yeah.
whoa, that's crazy. And you get close enough where you're like, yo, you see they're fighting over there. And then it gets a little too close to the railing and you're like, yo, we gotta get out of here.
But
And that's it. That's it. That's the reality. And like to me, that is the perplexity of rap.
The pushback I would give is that I think that, like you said, the umbrella is danger. We're drawn to danger. Like Jackass, the MTV show, is danger, right? These people are going to go prank people. Hold on, let me get
Go ahead,
They're going to go prank people, and they're going to make people feel really uncomfortable, and something that I would never do. I can't believe this is so embarrassing, but they're going to put themselves in that position to embarrass them. Eric Andre, for sure. Great stunts, and you're like, oh my God, this is so embarrassing. I would feel so uncomfortable if I was that person in that environment, but I'm drawn to it. I can't look away. There is a fascination with the dangerous. There is, even in like the way that we're attracted to like anime or even kung fu movies. And I think like white and black people were attracted to this Asian thing that was like dubbed over, and we're still like, these are some badass motherfuckers. Maybe they're going out and killing all the people. Maybe they shouldn't.
Because this is a conversation me and my boy have had.
Okay, so I think that there is an attraction to the dangerous.
Yes.
And we exalt those figures that are willing to do these dangerous things. UFC fighters, boxers, like the things that we fear. A bare knuckle street fighter, Kimbo Slice. You made himself, but we also made him a celebrity simply off the fact that he was knuckling up in a backyard in Miami. So I think that we are drawn to these figures that are willing to do the things that we don't. And rappers specifically are rapping about these things that we're terrified of, but we are really intrigued by. And
I agree 100%. Everything you said, I agree. And you know what? This is what I think. I think rappers who are rapping about a certain traumatic experience and Black lifestyle that's particular and specific to them, it's appealing to other people who have felt those same traumas and have been through that, right? To white people, we're just attracted to the danger.
Danger, yeah.
Why? It's because 21 Savage is John Wick to white boys.
Yeah.
That's the reality. Rappers are the new action heroes.
Yeah.
To white people.
Yeah.
But to Black America, rappers are, you're speaking our trauma and it lands for us and it resonates, right? But to white boys, which is like, the reality is the main consumer.
We're interpreting it correctly though. The Black people aren't.
No,
because the
because
rapper's a lion. So we're treating you like the liar, which is John Wick.
Well,
not necessarily because
if they lying,
if they lying, then we stop fucking with them. If
No,
you
that's
really
not
about that life.
how many of these rappers are lying and we still fuck with them?
Here, like,
Yeah, but it would still be the difference between an action movie and a movie that's a drama.
I hear what you're saying.
the main consumer, when I say consumer, I mean the people putting money into it. The main consumer, the main ticket buyer of rap is a white boy, right? Those people are there not because the content lands. They're saying the N-word. They're there because they're getting to watch John Wick up close. Meanwhile, John Wick is on stage like, this is real trauma. This is not a lie. No, now,
if he is.
Okay, well, so now when we go down that road, right? Here's my issue with it. Let's go down that road. So you're lying about being John Wick. Okay. If you're lying about being John Wick, promoting a negative lifestyle.
Speak on it.
For commercial gain.
Speak on it.
To me, that's fucked up. Now, if this is really your lifestyle and you're just expressing your trauma, I respect it. But if you're lying, it's a little fucked up. And so here's the real question to me. The real question is, are you publicly admitting to crimes you commit, which makes you dumb? Or are you lying about a negative lifestyle, which makes you a little evil? Which one is it?
I think it's a little bit of both.
Maybe guess what?
It usually starts somewhere and they're like, hey, this is my truth. And then they get a little money. They distance themselves from it, but now they can still speak on experiences that they lived.
That they had. Which I think, like I said, when it's real to you, I think by all means, I think the policing of rappers' actual real life trauma is fucked. Let them talk about what they went through, right? I think if you're making this shit up because you know what's popular is to talk about sliding on ops and popping perks, I think you're evil.
But that isn't that what you also just said? Of any time something becomes the culture, there's going to be people who just try to profit off of it, and that's okay.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean it's not fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Yes, they're doing that, but that's fucked up.
Now, what if they said, "Hey, Russ, you probably embellish things about your life and your music"?
I don't. In fact,
Nothing.
nothing.
There's no line about fucking bitches that you didn't exactly do.
No.
God damn. They bring you blue chew, so you can fuck bitches like Russ does in his music.
You see these blue lights, baby? You know what that means? It's blue chew time, fellas. If you have a subpar dick game, like some of us, blue chew is how you elevate it. That's how
Not
you step
this,
it up.
not this.
First of all, it's got the same active.
Oh, yeah, he's
The
not-
only thing I ever lied about on a rap song was on Kill Them All, and I called my business manager and he talked me out of it. Was on Kill Them All when I mentioned like something like run over these bloggers in my Lambo. And I swear to God, I'll call my business manager right now. I said, bro, like, I don't have a Lambo. I have a McLaren. Like, I think I should buy a Lambo. So I swear to God, I swear on my mom's, on everyone's life. That was the only time I ever lied to my raps.
Wow.
And in fact, if you listen, maybe I changed the line, but yeah, that was the only time I ever lied because I'm not making music to persuade y'all. I'm making music for me. So if I'm not really doing the drugs or if I'm not really having the trauma, I'm not pushing it.
Okay,
And
but you
that's my
say
issue.
it's a negative thing, but well, we have movies like movies
No,
are
bro.
fiction.
Well,
Like
we
movies
can't-
are.
no, we
There's a difference
Listen,
between saying
hold on.
this is my life and this is
I
fiction.
love this debate. I love this debate because it doesn't land. I'll tell you why. There's no leg to stand on. Movies are under the notion that it's fiction, like you said. When you watch Scarface, you're going into the theater like, I'm about to watch a story. The appeal to rap is that it's real. In fact, to the point that rappers make it a point to say that they're real. So you can't, that whole notion of like, nah.
That's the thing. It's like you're selling art. So
No,
if
no, no, no.
I have a stage name,
You're
I have a
absolving-
persona.
You're absolving
And it's like-
accountability. You're absolving
I
accountability.
don't think so.
I think you
I
are because the reality is that's fine, but then make it clear that it's the WWE. But don't go out of your way to
WWE doesn't make it clear it's WWE. Don't
That's a great
point.
They'll never.
That's
rap-
great.
rap-
They
rap-
received a lot of criticism
watch,
for it.
watch,
It
but
doesn't matter. No one says
WWE,
what they're doing is bad.
no, WWE makes it clear to the people who like at a certain age, you know, Santa Claus isn't real.
WWE has never said publicly these are staged.
Of course, if you have eyeballs, you know.
But what I'm
the difference
saying,
between some of
And I feel the same way when you see
Bro,
rap.
no,
It's like, if you have eyeballs, you know this is bad.
no, but
That's exactly how I feel about rap.
I think realistically, right?
Yeah.
A lot of the appeal of rap, this is what I'm saying, because when you keep in mind that the main consumer is a white boy who thinks it's real, you have to understand that the appeal is that it is real. So like, even though they're not saying it, they're not saying it. You see what I'm saying? It's like the whole appeal of like this slide on out music is like, yo, I think they really are. And a lot of them really are.
But wrestling's that. Like people
You know
thought
what?
Stone
Rap
Cold.
is-
Yeah, but his friends didn't go went like
No,
that.
but rap
Drink
is,
his beer.
rap is not wrestling. That was,
I wouldn't.
Here's what I would
the
say.
appeal of rap was that it was not wrestling. The appeal
was
of rap was that it was real.
Reality
Everyone
rap.
is under the notion that
Yeah.
it's real.
I understand the point.
I know because we're all grown
No,
men that it's not real, but I'm saying the appeal
A
is
lot
that
of
it's
people
real.
still believe it's real, and also there are rappers.
It's still
who
real to
live
me,
that
man.
life.
Have you seen that?
I think 70% of the people at a wrestling show think that shit is real.
No, it's not 70%, but here's what it is.
I dare any of y'all to come out and I dare any of y'all to come out and say one of these rappers is lying about the shit they're rapping about.
I think what
Because that rapper will die on a hill defending the shit they're making.
Here's the
That's the
thing.
thing.
I
They
think most of
defend-
us know. I
They
think
say they're telling the
it
truth.
much like
Keeping up the persona.
it's like wrestling in that
Character.
we know at a certain age, you know it's fake, but we all just kind of, and I can't speak for black people, but I think the rest of us kind of buy into, look, we know most of this is bullshit, but let's all pretend it's real because it's just a fun thing, like wrestling. It's just a fun storyline we're all buying into. And I can't speak for the black consumer, but I think most of us at a certain age know most of these rappers ain't doing nothing. They got fucking
Yes.
Roth IRAs or whatever investment accounts.
Now,
And we're all buying into this game.
We have aged out of the audience that is influenced the most by rap. We've aged out. So you're talking, right? We're talking amongst each other as grown men who understand that It's not Santa who's bringing the present.
Mhm.
The audience that's most influenced by rap thinks it's real. And the issue that I have is that if it is not real, don't push it because it's negative. Now, if what you're pushing is positive and it's not real, push it by all means.
That's Santa Claus.
Santa Claus isn't real, but it's positive. Y'all shit isn't real, but it's negative. And you're not even living it. Nicki spoke on Future saying when I talked to Future, he told me he wasn't even doing the drugs that he talks about in the songs. I think Future's music is amazing. I'm grown enough to have the discernment to say, man, this shit is Stick to the Models is like my favorite shit, right?
Russ, watch your mic.
Sorry. Stick to the Models by Future is my favorite shit, right? But I also know that the reason why I wanted to try lean when I was 19 was
Because you were listening
Future.
to Future, yeah.
Was Future.
And I
And
don't.
I'm not gonna blame him. That like I'm like
Not the
I'm
drug
grown.
shit. I did think the drug shit was real. I knew the slide on ops wasn't, but
The drugs are
No,
kind of what-
I'll
but-
tell you why the drug shit can't be real. Because
not at
you
the
cannot
extent of what he
you
was
can't do
saying.
that many
Do-
drugs
exactly.
live this
Yes,
long.
okay, but not to advocate.
Which is why
for
when
negative.
Juice World said, I started doing these drugs because of you, but we have seen it live in the flesh. Juice World said, I did drugs because of you. Juice World died of a drug overdose by following somebody who does not even do the drugs that they said they did.
valid point. Yeah.
What the fuck are we talking about?
yeah,
Everyone wants
that's
to
fair.
tiptoe around the fucking because certain people are Teflon and you can't talk on
So
certain
why
shit.
is there a defensiveness around this? Al, what do you think that is?
Because people are trying to protect free speech, even if this free speech is negative.
I don't think it's free
and
speech.
Yes, it is. That's
No, I
what,
think it's a cultural.
that's what it is. It's like, oh, we should be able to say what we say.
No, I
You
don't think
can,
it's
but then
free
also
speech.
face the consequences.
I think it's cultural success, and I think
No,
it's
I
like.
think it's
I think it's.
I think it's we should be able to
They
say
should
what
be
we
able
can
to be
say,
honest, yeah.
but then that's fine. But you cannot absolve yourself of the accountability when you have to face the consequence of your actions and when the chickens come home to roost. When Juice WRLD,
Nah, I mean, I feel what he's saying, you know what I'm saying? But I just go by nobody can't make you do anything, you know what I'm saying? Definitely RP Juice World, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I get it, you know what I'm saying? But it's the thing of jumping off the bridge. I'm not finna come behind you and jump off the bridge, bro. Unless I want to, you know what I'm saying? Me personally, not because you did it, you know what I'm saying? So.
did drugs because of you dies, that is a real moment of reflectiveness that needs to happen within the culture.
That's a
Real quick. No, question.
That's the reality.
Yeah.
Am I tripping?
No, you're not, but I don't think anyone like.
When Alex Jones or when Tucker Carlson or any of these dudes that were supposed to be taken on face value, right, as like news sources and they were telling the truth, when they back up and they go, I'm just doing this for entertainment, they get ridiculed.
Yeah.
How dare you manipulate all these people?
Right.
But what I'm saying is you can make the same argument that Alex Jones, Tucker Carlson, or
No,
any of these
because
guys
presenting
are
yourself
rappers.
as a news.
Right. No, but I see where you're going.
You won me over with Juice WRLD, but you can't go news because news is news. It is. I'm presenting this as news for you to like consume as facts.
But you have to
and you should
understand
operate with
to a
this. as-
17-year-old.
This is my life. How is
To a
that different?
17-year-old, a rapper is giving them news on the culture.
But it's
It's the same thing.
It's candy news. It's like sports is
No,
real.
but like rappers,
My life.
I think we're
fucking.
trying to argue two things. Like, no one's trying to absolve rappers like influence. Like, a parent should raise their kids.
For sure,
People
for sure.
can look up to somebody and be
Sure.
influenced by, but at
Yeah.
the end of the day, it's up to the parents to raise your kid.
I agree.
So it's like this artist should be able to be an artist. If they are, and we gotta can't act like this shit isn't going on. Yes, there are some rappers that are fronting, but there are rappers that really are about that life. Like we see it happening
For
in
sure.
Chicago. We see
For sure.
there are. So it's like you can't put all the onus on the
No. And for a disclaimer, I'm not talking about the ones who are actually talking. Like I said, I'm not talking about the ones who are actually talking
No,
about
but
the
even
song.
the ones that aren't.
No, but see, that's where you have to start raising an eyebrow of like, this is a little bit evil because if you are purposely choosing to promote a negatively influential lifestyle that you yourself are not even
Just take
living,
that part in.
this
Yeah.
is fucked up. I'm not talking about the ones who are like, yo,
Yeah,
like
not
I
advocating
really,
for it. I'm
like
not
I
saying-
really lived this. I did X, Y, and Z. I'm using my music as a journal to talk about it. I like let them express what they express. The ones who are not doing it, but they're doing it because it makes money and then they have blood on their hands.
I'm going to
It's
further
fucked up. There's no
reinforce
way
the
to slice that.
stereotypes of the Black community from my personal gain.
And to
Yeah,
their
that's a
point,
crazy intro.
and
But that's essentially what the criticism is. It's like, if you are living these things, that's incredibly unfortunate, and you were born into a situation you probably couldn't avoid, and you should be able to speak on your experience. But if you did not live them at all, and you were further reinforcing the stereotypes of the Black community just so you personally can
get money.
while those
That's
people
the definition
continue
of
to
selling your
suffer.
soul.
Yes.
That's the definition
I
of
think
selling your
that's
soul.
that
That is,
criticism.
okay, but to what we're all talking about, because what I've heard from a lot of people sitting here is, well, but it's WWE. Okay, so what we're saying, what I hear is that majority of rappers have sold their soul, but it's okay because it's art.
No,
Well,
I'm saying
I will say also to his point, it's not just negative reinforcement. It sets up a negative reward system where you think to yourself, if I want to make it, I got to be one of the real guys. Not even fake it. I got to be real. Otherwise, if I get my card called,
Bro, this shit is
phony,
I just think
I might have to live that
I
life.
think it's a little hypocritical to just call out that because this happens in society everywhere. There are people that are selling cancer to you. There's people that sell like tobacco.
Well, I wouldn't say it's
Like,
hypocritical. I would just say it's hypocritical.
but there's a lot that don't. McDonald's like are killing people.
Okay, yeah, but
nobody's calling this shit out.
I know, but that's like that tweet where it's like, if you say you don't like oranges, someone's like, what? So like pineapples just get off the.
Like,
it's like
multiple things.
we're
can be
talking.
wrong.
We're talking about
McDonald's has
music.
received so much criticism, bro. There's been so many documentaries. Super Size Me is a documentary. Like, there's constant.
No, but we're talking
criticism,
We're
but
talking about music, and
we're talking about
we're
artists
talking about music.
that are putting out bad music, and it's up to the people at home who consume that music how they live their life listening to it. If you're raised right and you know we can all listen to a Future song and not be influenced by it.
Yeah,
You said, hey,
that's
it
because
made
we're
you
grown now.
yeah, but
But
if
do you
your
think-
parents were a little bit closer to you, they wouldn't have let you have access to that.
No,
You might have wanted to try it,
No,
but
let's pump the brakes, right? We were all 19, right?
Yeah.
At some point, you're outside of your parents' supervision. So at 19, when I'm like first dabbling into music, I'm drinking, I'm smoking weed, Future's going crazy, he's dropping Tony Montana. I'm like, oh, this is crazy. And especially in Atlanta, it was a different time. You know what I mean? It was
sitting next to two people that have never done drugs, didn't have sex before marriage.
yeah,
like,
but everyone,
not everybody
No, but-
influenced by what they.
I agree, but to your point, not everyone is influenced by what they're, but some people are. So you can't just write
Put
up.
it on the art.
Also, Alex,
No,
real quick.
what I'm saying is you can't just say, well, these two people weren't influenced, so it's not at all on the artist.
Hold on.
Even though these
One
two-
second, one point,
even
one
though
point.
someone like Juice WRLD literally told Future himself, I started doing lean because of you.
1 point. Let's say
We can't absolve that.
Let's say that
There's absolute, yes, there's some. Yes.
Yeah.
Let's say that there's zero influence, right? Let's say it doesn't impact a single person. Like, nobody does drugs because of it, nothing, right? Everything's the same. Society doesn't change at all. You could still go, you are profiting off of a trauma that is not yours, that you are also reinforcing a negative stereotype, even if it doesn't turn into anything.
that's true too.
You still are profiting off
I
of.
agree.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like
That's kind of where I was coming from at first, which is
It's an
if
easy way
it's
to
not
make
your
money,
if
but-
it's not your real life,
you could argue
to me,
that
it's-
that's the culture vulture. I'm just saying that.
I really agree. It's an icky way to make money, but there's a lot of people that
Dude,
make
this-
money.
But see,
This is where
Well,
you're
because
missing.
you're deflecting.
Hold on,
You're
Russ,
deflecting.
Russ. This is where you're missing the mark. Nobody ever says somebody who works with Philip Morris didn't sell his soul. You sell cigarettes. You made it a point to sell cigarettes as a kid. You sold your fucking soul. Nobody, if you call that cigarette company, gonna be like, bro, what about drug dealers? No, motherfucker, it's you. You sold your soul. So I just don't like that whataboutism of, well, what about these other? We're not calling them out. Of course we call them. We call them all the fucking time.
Everybody
If
gets
you're
called out.
McDonald's and you decided we don't
Everybody gets called out.
You sold your fucking soul. Ray Kroc sold his fucking soul.
Yes.
Y'all sold your soul. We call them all out.
I will agree. It's an icky way to make money, but at the same time, I think you have the liberty of being an artist where it's like, hey, you get to make whatever type of art you want to make. If it's not positive art, then don't consume it.
Or just
I
admit
agree.
you lying.
No.
Yeah, that's what
really care
I'm
about
with
what
him.
the
I'm with the dude with the dread.
like,
Exactly.
close it out. I think make what
Make
you
what
want
the
to
fuck you,
make.
yeah, make
but
what you want
also
to make.
Don't absolve yourself of accountability. when it comes down to like, yo, if you're talking about something that's negative and pushing something that's negative that you didn't actually do or live, but you're doing it because that makes money, you sold your soul.
Yeah.
Simple as
That's
that.
fair.
You just own
That's
it.
fair.
You just own it.
We can agree on
But like this whole
That's fair.
notion that like, nah, chill, people should be able to talk about what they talk. Oh yeah, you can. But guess what? You're also not exempt from is criticism for selling your soul.
The Juice World thing completely flipped me. I only thought about violence.
That is the
that's
not my opinion.
Yeah.
That is documented.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
told him that.
Mhm.
And Nikki is in interviews saying, I think it was to Joe Budden, saying that Future told her that he doesn't do the drugs that he talks about. So it's like that to me, like I said, I have a whole Future playlist because I'm grown and I can like, use the sermon, but it's like, oh, when you see somebody like Juice WRLD, who their introduction to it was because you glorified it. That's gotta feel crazy.
But then it's also, hey, where's Juice WRLD's parents?
No,
friends,
bro,
family,
because
people around you.
come on, because then we're acting like, then we're acting like,
also
no, that's not true.
Yes,
No.
like you can't put
No, because then we're acting, no,
That's
because
not
then
only Future's
no,
fault, like
because then
other
we're acting
things.
like none of us were 19 before, where even if you had good parents, you just didn't want to be 19 and wild out because that shit
Yes,
sounded cool.
There are 19-year-olds that didn't want to.
No, but then the ones who did,
That's minority though.
no, but
You
minority.
could argue the foundation is set by the parents. and you
Listen,
should-
minority and majority is irrelevant. The fact that there are 19-year-olds who chose to wild out because they heard he was wilding out, even though he wasn't wilding out, cannot just be ignored for the sake of an argument. That still has to be like, yo, that's kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
We're not saying that's the whole blame. We're not saying that that's what's wrong with the world. But there needs to be accountability. It can't just be like,
What if Michael Jordan
some
never
people
won?
died, big deal.
No,
It can't just be that, because that's the alternative. The alternative is like, so what? So somebody died because he followed what he said. Big deal. Where was his parents? It can't be that.
Yeah.
You can also argue it's worse from an artist than it is from a Philip Morris, because at least I know those guys are just trying to make money. Art is supposed to be art. The art that hurts people, that you're just saying, no, I'm just trying to make money and calling it art. And that's kind of like, as an artist, fuck you a little bit.
Yeah, but the guy,
I was on your side 20 minutes ago.
but the guys actually are spending money trying
Hell
to
no.
convince people that this isn't bad for you.
They're bad too. They're bad too. But you can argue, but to defend the artist and be like, dude, that's art. I'm telling you, as an artist, if your art is killing people and it's not even real to you, I could argue that's even scummier. And you can hear the vitriol I have for these cigarette companies. These are monsters. You could argue. To say you can't argue that is wild.
No,
You
I'm
can't
just
do
saying
that.
it's
That's in the guise of art. I'm having people killed is worse than, hey, here's a product that I'm selling as a product and a consumer good that's killing people. Because I know you're a greedy fuck. I know you. I clock you as a greedy cocksucker trying to drive up a share. That's also what corporations are.
I just think we're coddling humans to be like, oh, well, you don't have the wherewithal to know that you shouldn't do the thing that
No,
you're
that's
listening
fine.
to.
We're just saying there is also kind of.
I think we are underestimating the societal pressures to just be amongst and just be 18 and be 19 and
Well, why can you be 18 and 19 and watch John Wick and not want to go out shooting everybody?
no, see,
Why do you
no,
have that
no, see,
wherewithal? But
this
then you
correlation
can-
Wick isn't a documentary.
It's
No,
so
no,
bad.
No, bro, come on, bro.
You're aware of the difference
No,
between
that
a
to
movie.
me, exactly. Hold on,
Right.
Can't
No,
on
you're
screen.
right.
Hold on. Let me talk, because I hate that analogy. I always have, because it's acting as if it's like gaslighting to me. It's trying to make it seem like Future is John Wick. No. We got
I think
introduced
future John Wick.
because you're grown. Yes, he
I
is the
never
majority
heard
of
a
his.
future lyric that made me want to do
That,
that.
no, hold on.
This is
Hold on.
this is important.
No, but
I didn't know.
next though.
bro, but hold on.
Keanu Reeves exists.
Hold on.
Keanu Reeves
No,
exists.
bro.
Yeah.
No, bro.
That's it. It's over.
No, this shit, like, it just,
This is a guy that's influenced by DMX as a teenager.
Yeah, that's
to
true.
act like, come on, dog. To
No.
act like
Yeah.
rappers are literally made up action heroes would then insult the integrity of rap.
Yeah.
So, because guess what?
It should be.
Hold on. So, which one is it? Is Future and 21 Savage, are they Gangstalicious? Are they John Wick? Or are they who they say they are? Which one?
What's Gangsta Delicious?
From Boondocks, which was a dude who was playing and portraying the role of a gangster rapper, but it got defrauded throughout the
Yeah,
episode.
there's a lot of that. In
Okay. I agree, but what I'm saying is that you can't blame the consumer for not seeing through the image that they've been presented and saying, well, y'all are just dumb, and absolving accountability of the person who's perpetrating the fraud.
And
That to me is crazy gaslighting.
I think you can't blame the artist.
Yes, you can.
Saying,
That's chapter one.
You're putting out this
No, dog. Chapter one is
they didn't have the wherewithal to be like, hey, to be influenced by the message.
That's almost like this. That's almost like this. Back to the Morocco story.
Yeah.
That's me selling you a fake rug and blaming you for buying the fake rug.
You should know.
Why am I selling the fake rug? I'm actually
He's not telling anybody to go out and do drugs. He's just saying what he does.
Do you know what a
He don't go tell you, yo, guys, everybody go out and do it.
Bro, people are what they do, not what they say.
But he's saying his experience. He's not advocating for you to
people
come out
are what
It's 50-50.
You know how cosign works? Kids move off of what you do, not what you say.
There's a reason influencers get paid,
So
right?
it's like your
But they're
lifestyle.
selling it. They're saying you should get this fit tee.
Bro, it's not
Unless
that
it's
black and
like
white.
They're
It's not
walking
like,
around in it, but yeah.
look, put it like this. I don't need to promote tequila on this podcast with my words. If you just see me pour it, it promotes it.
True.
So to act like Future's not telling people what it's like, come on.
Well, can I ask a question? Here's a question. And you guys answer it. If Future said, hey, I just want to let you guys know, this is a character that I play.
He's never gonna say.
No. I'm saying you're giving your answer.
Yeah.
So if Future can say, this is a character I play, I just want to let you know my character's Future. He does all this gangster shit, does all these drugs. That's not who I am. I went to Cornell. I studied business in there and studied music, and I'm an amazing musician, and I just choose to play this character. Here's the music. Do you think that his music would be more consumed or more popular if he was honest and said that? Or if he was like, no, I am that character. This is who I am. You'll never see me break that character, and I do all those things. What would make his music more successful?
Is a magician so more attractive once you know how they do the trick?
No, he sucks once you know.
No
how to do the
kidding.
trick.
Yes,
So
sir.
exactly. They're never going to admit how they do.
If that's the case, then he is profiting off of the illusion. Whether the kids do it or not,
of course.
there is more profit coming from the illusion.
And he's not saying
Yeah.
100% of the blame is on the artist.
I'm not. I'm just saying that the fact that
But he can make more money doing it.
This notion that there's no accountability for the person who's responsible for perpetuating the illusion is just gaslighting.
Yeah.
It's like, it's y'all's fault for believing it. No. Start at chapter one. Why are you perpetuating something you're not doing?
Also, even
That's
if I
the
think you're
reality.
fake, I still want to do it.
It's not all of his responsibility, but
No.
he's not absolved of
No,
any.
that's it.
Yeah.
It's just what we're basically
Beautiful,
arguing.
happy me.
Yeah. What's the percentages?
Yeah.
That what we're doing is, and right now it feels like there's
Figure out what's
Yeah, we're trying to, is it 50,
percentage
is it
account.
49?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And
But I think as you know, on social media, it's so extreme. It's like it's all his fault, or it's none of his fault.
Yeah, exactly.
The reality is, it's like, look, both parties play a role.
everything's going to play a role. Everybody's going to have
Yeah.
a low percentage. We just got to figure out what it is. But like even suggesting that there is a percentage, I don't think is a bad thing.
No.
But I'm sure if I'm a label, I'm like, hey, don't start this. This is how we make our
No,
money.
of
If I'm an
course.
artist, I'm like, yo, don't start this. This is how we make our money.
I'm getting flanked.
I'm gonna get flamed.
You're gonna
I'm getting all the flame. They're like, no.
Yeah, but think about But think about what Russ got to go through.
Why are
Like,
we allowing white people to speak
No,
on black culture?
not even that.
Top comment.
That,
No, that's top comment. That's top comment.
You
And
got
it's fair.
No, you gotta think about to make your life interesting. You gotta fuck all these bitches. You gotta fuck all these cars. You don't even want to do that.
yeah.
You talking to me?
Yeah, think about all the
No.
shit you gotta do. Think about the suffering. You gotta buy Lamborghini. You gotta have threesomes like crazy.
Smashing women is not suffering. I don't know what the hell you talking about.
Be with these liars. You gotta spend all your goddamn money, bro. You the bitch.
No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. Not at all.
Yo, I gotta pee. Can we pause this for 1 second?
Listen here, you balding bastards. You don't have to do that anymore. If you're losing your hair, thanks to our sponsor, Keeps, you don't have to do it anymore. This is now a choice, as Andrew always says. Keeps is an online subscription service that makes it easy for men to treat male pattern baldness. With Keeps, you can do a simple online consultation from the comfort of your own home and get matched to a clinically proven, affordable, and personalized treatment plan that helps you boost and regrow your hair. And best of all, Keeps delivers right to your door in discreet packaging. I'm gonna be honest, I don't even use Keep.
you had your guys reach out to them and say, hey,
That's multi-layered.
but this is back, so that's checking in. So it's basically like, yo, am I gonna be good making this money? Because back in the day, rap artists weren't getting to play in the fucking arenas or the crazy venues or whatever.
I think it's different, like depending on like sort of the music you make. When I did Hollywood Bowl and I wanted to bring out YG, and you know, he hit me. He was like, "Man, like the venue's tripping because of who I am and like what I'm associated with. They're not letting me." Long story short, like he ended up being fine, but it's like they didn't give me a hard time.
They gave him.
They gave him a hard time. You know what I'm saying? So I think like it just kind of depends on what the perception of you is.
Do you have to move around with security?
I move around with security because it's smart. Because I stopped thinking that it couldn't happen to me. Good. And also because after 2018, when there was a lot of like media hate and like cultural hate, I was just paranoid. I'm just like, I just started
feeling running up on people that talk shit.
Right. So I'm just like, bro, like I would be dumb to think that that all of these are just like baseless threats. So let me like move smart so that God forbid anything happens. So yeah.
Oh yeah, are you still moving like that?
Hell
like,
yeah.
No, but running up on people that you.
No. I was never moving like that.
Yo, that shit works though, huh?
No, but I wasn't like I mean, it's
yeah,
I was never doing it.
Violence works though,
I think it's actually sad. It's an unfortunate reality that the language that some people speak is money or violence.
Yeah.
Meaning like
fire to put it on them.
Well, it's true. It's true. It actually like exposes the it exposes like the nuts in people. Like how much you really believe what you're saying. You know? So it's like you're ballsy enough to say something online, but you're not ballsy enough to like really
throw down when it happens
in person. And you know, there was a time where I was just I fell victim to myself and my rage of wanting to stop being fucked with. And so I was like, bro, enough is enough. Whenever I see any of y'all, like, fuck y'all, you know? So that's just, yeah, because have y'all seen anyone say anything since?
Isn't that interesting? No, isn't that interesting?
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, everyone speaks violence.
Yeah.
Everyone does.
So
everyone
language,
understands that language. It's like, and it's fucked up. It's like, damn, so y'all just weren't spanked like as a kid. Cause like, I don't know. It's just like, I'm not gonna say like when I was 17 or 18, I wasn't on Twitter talking shit as nobody. But it's like, I've never talked shit since getting on and famous and successful about anyone. And if I have, I always knew that there could be blowback. But this whole notion of like, I'm gonna talk shit and like, yeah, I'm good. It's just like, damn, bro, like, yeah, I'm sorry that like you just didn't learn this lesson earlier. And it's not even a positive thing that I even want to promote because it causes me to have to look over my shoulder straight up. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, I also don't expect anyone that like there was an altercation with to sort of just like
let it go,
take accountability and let it go. Like, yeah, you know what? I did talk shit about him. Then I got punched in the mouth. Like, all right, we're even. I assume they're like, fuck you, let me get my get back.
Yeah.
And so it's like, damn, like, I wish I didn't do any of this shit.
Right.
But it's like, I didn't, you know, I always talk about like going to chapter 1. Like, I didn't start chapter 1.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't talk to any of y'all. I don't know any of y'all. I just fucking capitalized on their ignorance.
Exactly.
Real Italian bomb box.
Yeah,
it's Italian the whole box. Unfortunately, the capitalized.
No, it's
Good respect.
It's not who I want to be.
You turned me into a man.
It's not. No, it's really not. It's not fly. Like,
Yeah.
it's really not. It's not fly.
And there's a long-term cost. The security is a long-term cost.
There's because I don't blame. So like revenge is a dish best served cold. So I don't blame any of those dudes if like 5 years from now they're like, you thought we forgot. Fuck you. We caught you in the bomb. You know what I'm saying? So like, I wouldn't blame any of them, but it's also like whatever. They just lack accountability.
If you were an evil individual record executive that wanted to create a system that could extract as much wealth from the artists that you possibly could, given the technology that exists right now, how would it look?
Easy money.
Okay.
You create somebody who is the most radical persona and image of counterculture as possible, and feed them hits. That's it. Like, think
Give me an
about
example. Like,
so like me and Boogies talk about this all the time, which is, I think at its core, I think hip hop is Black culture, right? And I think you've heard from a lot of different perspectives within the Black culture. You've heard from the CEO, right? Jay-Z,
Sure.
which also drug dealer. You've heard from the artsy dude, Kanye. You've heard from a stripper. You've heard from the. It's like, what's the next extreme thing that you haven't heard from yet? What's the next extreme perspective you haven't heard from yet? Get that. Look at Sexy Red. I think Sexy Red.
Just gonna say that.
I think Sexy Red is all. I don't subscribe to this like it's like a weapon of mass destruction. I just think like it's the natural progression of things. It's like Sexy Red is, I think, represents the authenticity that everyone else is almost trying to push. She's like the real deal. She's the real thing, and that's why it resonates, because it's like, oh,
Very small percentage of the culture. Very small, but it's
it's impactful. But it's impactful and it's authentic. And so
interesting.
look at like the progression of the game, right? It's like, okay, but where do you go after Sexy Red? At some point, me and Boogs talk about this all the time. At some point, you're gonna hear, you've heard from the CEO, you've heard from the drug dealer, you've heard from the stripper, you've heard from the this. At some point, you'll hear from the crackhead. You'll hear from the this. You'll hear.
Yeah,
You
hold on.
will. Why would it stop at?
You're making a
Think about it. Why would it stop here?
You're right.
Because you just get more
exhausted men. That's why women have been making the best
No,
music.
it's like, think about it, bro. Like, we're not stopping here. It's gonna go to the next level, and then the next, and then the next, and then
It's more extreme.
oh yeah, and bro, give it 10 years, a legitimate, like where it's like clear that that's their brand. Will have a #1 song in the world and is a known crackhead, and we will be living in a Black Mirror episode where everyone is rooting and cheering on for the train wreck of a crackhead.
What was the first thing you said though? You said counterculture, right?
Yeah.
And counterculture is anything that goes almost completely against whatever the mainstream popularity is.
Well, and what correct me if I'm wrong. The culture of hip hop at its core and at its inception was intelligent movement. What's the antithesis of intelligent movement?
The crackhead.
Being reckless.
Reckless.
Okay, we're like kind of close.
Well, no. To your point,
Everything right now, like why the old heads are like hip hop is dying is because what is happening is counterculture to the culture of hip hop's inception.
Yeah.
Okay,
And the shit happening in hip hop is actually counterculture. In the culture is hip hop.
to the counterculture. I'm curious about this. Okay. Hip hop, I don't think had a #1 album last year.
Right. Until whatever it was. Yeah.
There is a form of music that has gained
What you I saw
mainstream
this
popularity.
and I sent it to the group chat. It was so spot on.
I'm curious your take on it. And is country this rebellion that you're talking about? Is this counterculture? If the mainstream culture, if everybody's listening to hip hop and hip hop is, it might not be representative of every single person in America, but it is popular music now. Is country now the most rebellious or counterculture thing to hip hop? And is that why it's become so popular?
I think it's not that black and white, but I think there's a couple things. I think it happened with rock music, which is subject matter in rock music reached the ceiling where we had heard everything.
Yeah.
And I think with rap, we have heard everything. Oh, you're also sliding on and up? Heard that. In fact, I heard it and it was better. You're selling drugs? I heard that. 50 did it and it was way harder.
You're sad, you're emotional.
You're sad? Heard that. Cuddy? Way better. Trey? Wait, you know what I'm saying? It's like everything that's happening in rap, I've already heard the better version.
So what haven't we heard yet?
So it's reached this point of we've heard all this. It's like at this sort of breaking point where what's about to happen. And that's one layer of it. I think the other layer is people who listen to country and rock, they weren't on the streaming platforms at first. They were still on iTunes.
Yeah.
Right?
They were still buying CDs.
They were still buying CDs. They've
interesting.
migrated over where now my dad is on Spotify. See what I'm saying?
That was the
This is interesting.
music that was still
Right. So now you're getting the audience that was basically country music's audience, in my opinion, was last to migrate to streaming. But now that they have, people are seeing that. Wow, there's a lot.
Think about
So it's not necessarily a
in
rebellion. It's just that they were the last ones to
To
convert.
migrate.
And because of the conversion of migration, now we're seeing these numbers that look astronomical, but those were always
They
the
were
fucking
always
numbers.
there. They were always there.
That's interesting.
They were
Kenny
always
Chesney
there.
been moving units.
Yeah, they were always there. They were just
always
last
had
to the
their
party.
own award show that was huge.
They were just last to the party is all that happened, in my opinion. But also, I do think rap's subject matter has reached a ceiling where there's no new perspectives being introduced outside of like the select few, which is why like I know a lot of people had flack for Kendrick's most recent album, but in my opinion, Father Time is like one of the greatest songs released in the past 10 years because I've never heard a mainstream rapper talk about, and I could be wrong, right? I don't want to like say that this is the God's honest truth, but it's I just have never heard a mainstream rapper talk about father issues in that light. I thought it was fucking profound. I've heard mother issues and all that.
Or child abuse. He talked
Child,
about that.
yeah, it's like I think introducing new concepts into the lexicon of rap is powerful. And if you don't like the sound of it, that's fine, that's fair, that's taste. But I respect that. And that's why I did Santiago, was because honestly, like Kendrick's album and really Father Time inspired me to speak on my issues because I was like, so it's safe to do that. And then I think I also like talked about shit that's never been talked about before. And
This is all forms of art. Once people see that it can be done, they feel way more comfortable doing it themselves as well. They just can't conceptualize talking about like an abusive childhood or a relationship with their parents, which they might also have, but they're too locked in this game of how can I replicate what's successful? Once you make something else successful, they start going, well, I would also like to try to do that.
Sure. The labels are hanging on by a thread. I'll tell you this.
Wait, whoa.
The labels are not going to allow rap to fall by the wayside like that.
Yeah.
They're going to keep boosting and juicing the stream so that it appears that, what are y'all talking about? Rap's not losing steam. There's country, sure, but we're still crushing. No, you're not.
Wow.
You're having to spend a lot of money to keep up the facade. This is A Star Is Born. What is the Lady Gaga movie? It's that.
Star Is Born, yeah.
It's right now, the labels are doing everything they can to keep the makeup and the wig and the choreography going so that it looks like shit is popping. But it's not. It's not.
And how does that end? Do they run out of money?
I think it's like every genre.
I think, bro, to be honest, once again, this is the truth is boring, right? Here's the truth. You know what it is? 4 years ago, every CEO was signing every SoundCloud rapper and their cousin. You know what they're about to do? Sign every country artist and their cousin. And guess what? The country artists, like we talked about before, they'll make enough money to cover the loss of the rappers that they're still fronting. And so it doesn't matter. It'll always look like a rap's still doing its thing. Country's booming, yeah, but rap is still crushing. Yeah, but y'all signing the country artists. I know because I'm talking to I still have relationships with the people at the labels, and some of them are good people. We talk about it all the time where it's like their whole focus is country artists.
My theory is
The whole focus is look at Morgan Wallen, bro.
Morgan,
Are you kidding?
But he uses some words rappers use.
Bro, Morgan Wallen, Jelly Roll,
shout out Jelly.
Yo, that's the man.
Bailey Zimmerman, like all these dudes who are like dudes and women who are coming through this vessel of this singer-songwriter, country twang, alternative sort of space. That's who the labels are scooping up like they were doing 6 years ago with like Lil TJ and Polo G and all those kind of guys. It's like, that's what they're on now. It's musical chairs, bro. It's like thinking that these people actually give a fuck about you is a mistake.
Now, real quick. If rap starts to, let's say, struggle and views and streams are harder to come by,
Yeah.
do you think that rappers will resort to more extreme tactics in order to garner those views or streams? And
Yes.
that's how the art becomes the crackhead doing all these crazy things, or the slide on the ops gets even crazier. I need to do something even crazier in order to get the reaction that I did before.
Yes, but also it's like labels. I think labels are going
Right
to.
here, you got some play yeah, you got it.
Yeah. I think labels are going to continue to prop up rap to attract newcomers.
Mhm.
Because put it like this, right? Labels letting rap fall is a bad idea for them because now where the up and coming rapper is going to go to, they're going to feel like, well, no, I'm not going to go over there. I'm not going to sign because all these rappers are falling off. But if you keep seeing rappers doing crazy numbers, you're like, all right, so there's still a place for us. So they're going to keep propping it up,
Yeah, that makes
knowing deep down, damn, we're having to spend 30 grand every 4 weeks to keep all these rappers propped up, but these country artists are making millions. But you know what? At least we're still recruiting and persuading these up and coming rappers to come over here.
And they want to keep the rappers so they don't lose like market share.
Yeah, of course.
Also, you don't want to let
Here,
pop up.
this is a fact. I might even get, I don't know, my lawyer will probably call me after this. But when I left Columbia, first of all, I bought myself out of the deal. Because it means they wanted another album.
Yeah.
Right. And I said, I'm not doing another album. They said, okay, well, we need money. This is like layman's terms.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, cool. Here's $1 million and some change. Y'all can have it. And also part of that was, well, we want market share on your first 20 songs or whatever the fuck it was that you put out independent. What do I give a flying fuck about y'all's little dick measuring contest in the industry?
Meaning those songs.
Meaning like after I leave the label, when I put out 20 songs independently and Hits Daily Double puts out the market share report where UMG has 30%, Sony has 20%. Sony wanted to be able to claim my first 20 or whatever songs independently as part of their market share.
Bonus.
Even if they're not with Sony, that was part. What do I give a fuck about y'all's weird dick measuring contest that you can flex to the other fucking weird CEO at the Christmas party? I don't give a flying fuck. I'm getting out of here. You know what I'm saying? But it's like that's what they're moving off of, is market share.
Yes.
Because bonuses are attached with that. If you're number one in market share, get a bigger check.
Yeah, you as the CEO or whatever.
Of course.
So my theory with music genres is that any new music genre, it's going to have its spike, and then it's going to level out.
Sure.
People say rock is dead. Rock's not dead. It's just smaller.
Yeah.
There's
And
still
it'll
rock
boom
stations.
again?
People still no. I don't know. I don't think it booms again. I think it just levels out. So it's like right now we're in the country boom.
Yeah.
And it's going to level out.
I just think country
Hip hop has leveled out.
Can I say
and
a hot take?
now we have Afro beats,
Yes.
which is a new version of music that people haven't
This
heard.
is
And it's
my-
booming.
I want to say so
Not
many
new.
hot takes.
No, but say your
Country's not new. Country's been around for
No, but I know what he's saying. But I know what you're saying.
New to like streamers and no, just like new to the marketplace.
This
where
is the
music's
first.
being consumed.
This is the first time since streaming boom where country was cool to young people.
Yes.
Yeah.
But to that point, I think we're once again, this is really me holding up a mirror because I'm white. So I feel like I can speak on this.
white people.
White people and white boys and white chicks with the colleges and sororities and fraternities so enamored by Black culture, right? And for a while, it went from like, I remember being in high school and there was pockets of like the goth chicks and people who they listened to like a certain kind of music. There's people listening to like, I went to high school 06. I was a freshman, 2010, I graduated 20 minutes outside of Atlanta. So like Snap Music and D4L and Soulja Boy came and performed at the pep rally. And so it was like that era. It's like, there was the people who were listening to that and whatever. I think now what's happened with rap is that the people who would have been listening to goth music and goth artists and punk, artists, whether it was Chemical Romance or whatever it was, here's Lil Peep, here's Juice WRLD, hip hop gave every genre a representative.
Ah,
But now it's happening. The pendulum has swung where it's like, you know what? I think I would just rather listen to just the goth artist or just the country artist, not the country hip hop mix, not the goth hip hop mix. There's enough art. Like it's time, right? It's time where it's like it was also hip hop dominating. We got to really think, right? It's been 2024, it's been 10, 11, 12 years since like trap boomed and it was a complete insurgence and takeover, right? Where rap and mainly the production of rap and the trap influence was in everything. Ariana Grande was putting out albums that had trap hi-hats. You feel me? It's like you got the biggest pop stars in the world using hip hop influence and 808s and shit like that. So I just think now enough time has passed where people are like, oh, it starts with the artist where it's like, you know what? I think I just want to make like some punk pop goth shit. Some fucking boys like girls, chemical romance, all American reject shit. Like, I just want to do that. And then the same people who were listening to maybe like the emo version of hip hop are like, oh, you know what? It was really this that I was looking for. This just wasn't there in 2014, but now it is there. And I just think that that's what's happening. It's
People are
becoming a lot
more nuanced in their.
Yeah, it's becoming a lot
digestion.
more compartmentalized.
Yeah.
It's like if you want pop punk emo shit, there's actually pop punk emo bands that can just fulfill that role. And if you want trap rap, there's that.
Yeah.
I think the past 10 years, rap just bled over to everything. And so it was massive. And now I think you have people like the Noah Kahns who are singer-songwriters and the Lizzie McAlpines, whatever her name is. She's fucking incredible. And just, you know, Luke Bryan and Morgan Wallen and Bailey, just all these people who occupy real estate that maybe 5 years ago belonged to rap fans. There was an overlap, but now it's just very clear to those same fans that actually this is just what I wanted. Morgan Wallen blew up, right? And I think within a year or two, not Morgan Wallen, Noah Kahn, that song Stick Season, it's fucking incredible. Sold out Fenway Park.
Wow,
Jesus.
really?
Yes, like I think
Wow.
2 nights in a row.
Jesus.
Wow.
That's crazy.
And it's like
really.
Fenway Park, but like you say the name Noah Kahn in a hip hop space,
Nobody knows.
I don't know.
I don't know who Noah Kahn is.
You
Yeah,
me
yeah.
but Stick Season is fucking incredible.
They're also probably not buying as many fakes.
No, but like you know what?
The numbers.
You know what? To me, bro, like
Never know. Never know.
I'm just so passionate about.
This is not reflected in
I'm so
stats.
passionate about great music.
Yeah.
And I think that is what will always win.
Yeah.
It's great music. And I think a lot of artists and a lot of people that get caught up in why things aren't working, why is hip hop failing, why is this, you know what? The greats are always going to be fine.
The greats are always.
The greats are always going to be
Yeah.
fine. The people who were never that ill will always fall off.
Sorry, this is not related to what you said, but I just didn't want to forget it. Can you talk about industry plants a little bit? Like I hear that term a lot.
Yeah.
What does that even mean?
I don't even know what it
You know what
means.
that means to people? And it's so funny because the prerequisite years ago used to be you had to be an industry plant. And what industry plant means is basically like, we only know you because the industry planted you here. Well, that used to be the only way you could be known.
Yeah.
Think about it, right? It's like the first time I heard J. Cole was 09 on Blueprint 3 on A Star Is Born.
Right.
I remember I bought Blueprint 3 and Cuddy's debut on the same day, September 9th, I think, 09, right? September 13th, something like that. That was the first time I heard J. Cole. Then I heard the warm-up, and it was a rap, and I was a fan. He was an industry plant by industry plant standards, because first time I hear he's on a Jay-Z album, it's a crazy
I think he
introduction.
was already signed to
Yeah.
Jay.
But it's like, that used to be
I grew up
the...
in Queens and he went to St. John's, I
St.
believe,
John's,
and he
yeah.
was like, I saw him handing out
Right, so you were like earlier down the way, but it's like,
before he was done.
it's like, you used to only be able to find out about artists if the industry pushed them.
Yeah.
And then the internet opened up and a lot of this like organic rise and guerrilla movements happened to the point where it was very clear, like if you blew up via internet and guerrilla style, or if like an industry put you there. And so it started this conversation of, nah, you're not as real as them. And, you know, and for me, it's like, it used to fuck with me a lot, to be honest. People call me an industry plant because
Discredits all the work you did.
Yeah.
bro, because I am the furthest thing from it. And it's like, and I get mad because I'm like, one, it discredits the work, but two, I'm like, damn, bro, like y'all are missing out on so much inspiration. Do you understand that, like, if you actually realize the truth, that you would realize you can do it too?
Yeah. They
You
don't
know what
want
I'm
that.
saying? It's like, bro,
They want the justification
It's like-
for why they didn't do it.
Yeah.
They don't want to know.
of course.
They'd rather not do the work and have an excuse.
Yeah.
And it, yeah,
It's part
bro,
of the Nepo baby thing.
He's on because he cheated, not
Right.
because you're nice.
right.
And you worked your ass
And you
out.
figured out the system and you did that.
But
Yeah.
your parents had money, so it doesn't count. Which
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it, bro, it used to bother the fuck out of me because I prided myself on that. It was a part of my identity.
Yeah.
It was my come up. You know what I mean? Like, damn, y'all about it. Like, especially it came during a time where they were taking away everything else. It felt like
Mhm.
I was like, damn, y'all taking away that too.
Yeah.
Like that was the thing that was like Teflon. Like,
Yeah.
like,
Like
wait,
what?
y'all are saying this now?
What were they saying?
And I remember the dude who started the rumor straight up, and I'm
What-
cool with him now.
What rumor? What were they
So
saying?
the rumor was it started on Kanye Tiller. It was a forum,
Yeah.
right? And the rumor was my dad worked for Columbia.
Oh.
And that's how I got on.
Yeah.
First of all, none of that makes sense, right? It's like, so then why did I have to put out 11 mixtapes?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
so he conveniently got hired after the 11th mixtape? It's like,
Yeah.
okay, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Son, put out 11 mixtapes and I'll make you famous.
Right. So, yeah, right. And I remember just being so pissed, bro. So pissed. And there's still people who like, I get the comments of like, this fake independent shit, talk about how your dad gave you all the. I'm like, what?
Where do you think this comes from in people?
It
Not just you. This is a human.
Self-reflection,
I think
they don't
it comes from-
believe.
It comes from an
Awesome.
inability to look at yourself.
Yeah.
It's an inability to have accountability
Mm.
for the choices you've made and where they've landed you. And it's easier to say, I haven't gotten to where I want to get to because I'm not cheating like he is.
I would say it's a fear of looking at yourself.
Absolutely.
Even inabilities almost gives them too
The
much.
fear,
credit.
the fear
Like, they're not
provides that
dumb.
inability.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're not dumb. They're terrified.
It's scary to look at yourself and
Yeah.
it's scary
It's
to
awful,
realize
bro.
those things.
It's awful, especially if you view yourself and your identity is tied to you being awesome
Yeah.
and you being the man. That for me was like my downfall.
Yeah.
Was like I got my perceived confidence from thinking I was the man.
Mm.
And so when things would happen that would tell me I wasn't the man,
Mm.
it like, and I talk about it on the song Fraud on Santiago, it wasn't surface level where it's like, okay, big deal. Like people said you're not the man. It's like, nah, beneath the surface is it made me question, well then who am I then?
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's
You
the
know what I'm
imposter syndrome shit.
Right. Because
Yeah.
if who I am is the man,
Yeah.
and something happens that's like, you're clearly not, then it's like, well, who am I then?
Yeah.
You know, and it fucked with my head.
Because
Can I
deep
say-
down, you're like, I'm not the man.
I'm not the man.
Can I ask
This
you-
And
thing
if
is
I'm not the
confirming
and
that.
And if I'm not the man, what am I?
I'm nothing. Do you ever think about how beneficial the insecurity was? And I'm curious, do you ever think like, if I was fully secure, what would I be doing right now? Because I don't think you'd be this.
I think if I was, you know what? Let me actually answer it like this. I think there was a big part of me, and still is, where I compare my struggles. Meaning, like, damn, my struggles aren't valid because my struggles aren't that struggle.
Mm, yeah, I do
And
that.
I had to realize that, you know what? Yeah, maybe I didn't grow up a certain way, but I had my own struggles that are specific to me,
Yeah.
that are difficult. Yeah, maybe my struggle wasn't my mom was an alcoholic and my dad left, or whatever the fuck it is, right? It's like, but maybe my struggle was what it was on Santiago. And, it's like to compare struggles also fuels that imposter syndrome where it's like, oh, so if my struggle isn't as tough, perception wise,
Mhm.
as their struggle, his struggle, her struggle, that means that my shit isn't real.
Mm.
And that made me start like dismissing my own struggle,
Mm.
where it was like, bro, get over it.
Right.
Because your shit is not even as real as that.
Yeah.
Mm.
And it's like, that comes from comparing struggles
All
and
the time.
thinking that my shit needs to be that.
Yeah.
And it's like,
I think the fear might be if you put it out there and then people tell you that's not even a real struggle, then you got vulnerable and then you get told the shit that hurt your feelings wasn't even worth getting your feelings hurt. And you're like, well, fuck.
oh yeah, getting gaslit by society is just par for the course.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what that, I mean, because that's what that is, right? When I canceled the European tour and I didn't even fully know why I needed to cancel, but I just knew I needed to, I was getting gaslit by the thousands in the
Saying
DMs.
what?
Oh, like, for lack of better words, get over it. Big deal. I'm going through shit too. My girl just left me. I just lost my job. Da-da-da-da. It's like, all right, so fuck what I'm going through then. You know, and because that's how men operate.
Yeah.
I think it's just
That's
but
how men operate.
it's also men, but it's also like successful people. It's like nobody wants to hear Jeff Bezos' problems. Like if you got a problem with your girl, keep that shit to yourself.
Straight up.
And I think there's less. Yeah,
And I get that. There is a lack of empathy, but
that's the cost of success.
I talked about it, and it is forever, to use your word, odd to me, because it is awfully odd that as successful people, we are not allowed to experience the average human emotion without scrutiny. However, the average human expects us to act like we're not above them, but you treat us like we are above feeling what you feel.
I think
that's what's confusing to me, right? It's like if the average person is like, you're so rich and successful, you're not allowed to be sad. It's like, okay, let's go with that. So you're telling me that, in a way, you're telling me I'm above you. I'm so much above you that I can't even feel your peasant emotions. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think they say you're not allowed to be sad.
That's what it is.
I think they say we just don't care if you're sad.
No, but even
no. It's literally like sad about rich shit.
No, it's not. No, it's not even rich.
You can be sad about breaking up with your girl.
No, you can't.
I think that they would have empathy because they went through that.
It's just if you're rich, all of your problems are like.
You literally just said Jeff Bezos.
And so to me,
if you got cheated on by his
I
girl,
just think it's interesting how society holds celebrities to an emotional standard that's above their own, and then act bizarre and act offended if a celebrity acts like they're above them. But you have literally told them who you think they are. You think they're above you because you think they are immune to feeling what you feel because they've achieved something higher than you could ever achieve.
No, maybe they feel like, I think that's something important to understand is like achieving like wealth specifically is so monumentally difficult. Like there are people that they can't even fathom making what you might make in a month.
Right.
So the idea of having that, it feels, if you don't have it, that it would solve all the problems. Because it's so just far-fetched.
Yeah.
So they can't even conceptualize or empathize with going through these other things because in their mind, just like all of us before we had any money, we were like, man, if I had all the money,
I'd be good.
Fucking Karen. My girl breaks up with me, I'm getting another girl. I'm getting 4 girls. I'm going on vacation to this. So there just probably is a lack of empathy for it.
There's and this is what I always tell like my fans and people is like, listen, I think the best level of understanding somebody could give you sometimes is understanding that you don't understand. Just give me that. Like, because in that, there is understanding. Like, you could tell me something you're going through, and I may not relate to it, but I can at least deploy the empathy and understanding to know that I don't understand. And so, therefore, I'm not going to pass judgment and say you should or shouldn't be feeling this. I'm just going to understand that I don't understand.
That ain't what the internet's for.
No.
Commenting, hey, listen, I don't understand. Is not going to
people that don't understand don't comment.
Exactly.
No, the people that don't understand comment and say this is dumb.
Oh, I'm sorry. The people that understand understand.
Exactly. The people with empathy are just going to not say anything.
Well, and that's like I saw this on, or I said this on Twitter like earlier. It's like social media like burnt the rise of the haters because being cool in a lot of people's eyes is getting views and retweets, and negativity gets the most views and retweets. So you got a bunch of people who want to be cool, and the quickest way to get there is by being a hater and passing judgment. So like, it's cool to like, we all laugh, me included, like see a quote tweet It's just if it's got enough retweets, it must be funny and it's hilarious and you laugh and it's like, damn, it's kind of crazy that like random people with no profile picture just like pop in and get paid now off of being a hater.
Yeah.
Like I'm not from that generation where it's like you got literally applauded for being a hater.
Yeah.
Because we would have just asked, like, but what do you do with your life? And it's like, if your claim to your bank account is, oh, I pass judgment and I hate on Twitter, that's how like I get money. You're a loser. I don't care how you got your money. Like, you're a loser. You know what I mean? Like, you're still a loser. Like,
Now, is that the cost of success?
Yeah, that comes with the dinner. It's like, yeah, par for the course.
Like I wonder if some of this is like as maybe annoying as it is, as you know, we can call it behavior, loser behavior, whatever. Part of the cost of being able to take your mom around the whole world.
Oh yeah, that has to come.
Do it. There's going to be a negative.
Has to be trade-off.
Yeah, and
it has to be trade-off. Yeah, and it's like if that's the trade-off, so be it.
Yeah.
You know why? Because it's like the positive is so much crazy.
The positive is
The
crazy.
negative, it's like, all right, so the negative is like maybe once in a blue moon, like something goes viral about you negatively. The positive is every day, my mom is good and in a beach house and I'm winning. It's like, so like maybe 3 times a year I get shit on, but 365 days out the year, I'm living my dream.
Yeah.
So like I win.
Yeah.
Ever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the thing to focus on 100%.
Yeah.
Perspective.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's easy to get, well, because we're so zoomed in.
It's also like when you create art or you really care about the thing that you're creating, anything that is
It's not personalized.
displayed negatively about it, like it hurts you a little bit, you know?
Of course.
Absolutely, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because we're so close. If we were creating a fucking power bar or we're creating, you know, some random product, it's not like our love and our passion is in it. We're like, how much protein can we get into this bar? Oh, did we get 40 grams? Okay, we got it in.
I also think that's our genius, though, is having, and this Rick Rubin talks about this, the antennas being up.
Yeah, the sensitivity is
that's
like, taste, to be honest with you.
It's like you look at somebody like Kanye, or you look at somebody like Drake.
You're on board now.
And it's like, no, but listen, but it's like you look at somebody like Kanye or Drake, and it's like, damn, why are they so big? Yeah, the music's great, whatever. But a lot of what's impacting and staying with people is the vulnerability and their ability to be sensitive to what they're feeling and express it in an authentic way. That can't happen if you don't give a fuck.
Yep.
The reality, though, is that attribute doesn't live inside of a vacuum. It's going to also bleed over into other aspects of their life.
Yeah.
And so you're going to get outbursts because they're sensitive.
Yeah.
Because they're feeling.
You can't be good at this if you're not sensitive. You can't be a great artist if you're not sensitive.
No, it's like I used to be, I used to feel, it didn't last long, but it was for a little bit where I was like, man, like, I'm too sensitive. I gotta let this shit go. And I was like, nah, bro, that is literally my super
magic. Yeah.
Like my ability to have the antenna up and to receive the message and execute it without interference is the superpower. And if I start letting the outside world tell me that having my antennas up is weak, then I'll be y'all.
Exactly.
Yeah. Y'all suck. You know what I mean?
You want to feel
like I don't want to live y'all's life.
Yeah.
God forbid.
No, that's bad. So,
Russ, listen, we've been, I don't know how long we've been going on this.
Like 4 hours.
Is that the time right there?
Yeah.
5.5?
No. 5:30. What time did we start?
Jesus Christ.
Start like 1:30 or something like that?
Yeah.
About 4 hours rolling.
Oh my God, bro. Okay. So then before we go, anything else? What is the next 20 years? In 20 years, when we come back and we reflect on this, when we're chilling on the Amalfi Coast and we're laughing about the last vacation that we went on, and all the family is good, and there's more family, and that family even has family, all those things are happening. What is the conversation about? Where is Russ mentally? What are you creating?
Honestly, I think for me, I just want to get closer and closer to an authentic balance between my personal life and my career. And I think my whole 20s, I spent down the rabbit hole of feeding my career.
Yeah.
you know, which is natural and it's good and it's paid off. And now I'm trying to like incorporate some of this balance. And I think in 20 years, like I'm never gonna stop making music. It's like, are you ever gonna stop like thinking shit is funny?
No.
No. So it's like I'll always be making music. I just think I want to get even closer to this place of like, I just don't see me, you feel me though, you know?
Yeah.
And that's it. Because to the fisherman fable, it's like that's what it's about. Like
That's it.
I'm already living like that, but I want to get even closer to like, yo, like I'm putting out music from this island and like, you know, that's that.
You
I'll
take
see
7 years off, then you make an album.
yeah, because bro, to
Because
be
you
honest, like
just wanna
I'm
make
also trying to show my fans and show people who care enough to pay attention that there's an authentic alternative way to like do this whole music thing. And sometimes I beat myself up for not playing the game more, being in LA and being on the scene and like, damn, I should have been at that party. And I bet if I had a spot in LA for 3 months,
Nah, fuck that.
I would have been here. And it's like, yeah, maybe it would have been. But then what?
Yeah.
You know, and it's like,
No.
and maybe it would have paid off here. But it's like, damn, bro, ask yourself the why. The why is so important. It's like, all right, so you could have moved there. You could have went to that party. You could have said something different. Why though? Oh, well then people will fuck with me more and they would know that I'm really who I think I am. Oh, so you don't think you are who you think you are. It's like it's a lack of your own approval. And so I'm just trying to get closer to the point of like, bro, like y'all can run around and chase all this weirdo shit. And I want to deploy empathy to everyone. I wish I could talk to every artist who's popping and just be like, and just talk straight up because I feel like all of us are living inside of this fucking tunnel where we can't move either way. And we think we're the only ones in here. And we see everyone else's Instagram and everyone else's success. And we assume that, damn, man, they haven't figured out. Not knowing that they're sitting there like this.
Yeah.
You know? And we're just all too prideful to like talk to each other. And, you know, I try to hit up people, but I understand like the music business, it's politics.
Yeah.
You know? And I mean that not into like I don't know, in the weird way. It's like everyone's a politician. And so you fuck with somebody based off of like temperature right now and what they can do for you right now.
Sure.
And like if it doesn't make sense, you won't even respond to the DM. But maybe you got to hit on radio. Hey, what's up? Like keep grinding, you're crushing. And all this shit. Like I just wish, you know, I wish people knew my intentions. I wish people knew that they don't have to compromise who they are to reach the masses. And yeah, I'm just trying to get closer to feeling better about the person I'm choosing to be on a day to day.
Amen to that, my boy. Russ, go check out Santiago and go check out this.
All right, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Y'all can also go watch the interview on Andrew, whatever. I always forget his last name channel. Make sure y'all go to LetsHelpYouGrowNow.gumroad.com. This might be like 4 hours. I did this, maybe 5. Hopefully, I got to 5. I want to do longer reactions and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Especially if it's of value. Now, I only do these long reactions if I really like the interview or like to actually fuck with Russ, you know what I'm saying? So, and I fuck with Andrew, so that's why I watched this for this long. But if it was just like some other random stuff, nope. I'll probably watch it, but reacting to it, nah, because I actually got to be into it and know what I'm talking about and know what's going on. But y'all let me know how y'all feel about this whole thing, you know, with him, with Russ exposing everything that we already knew, to be honest with you. But yeah, if you're an upcoming artist, independent artist like myself, the best thing to do is just be authentic to yourself and just do what you feel like you do to do. You don't need to go to a party to like for what, then what, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, chill out. You know what I'm saying? Do something that you want to do. Keep going.